Hello, hello, hello.
We're live. All right, let's see. Let's.
All right, cool. It's working. All right, it is live. Woo. Got all the notifications out.
We're live.
100%.
Oh, I did that interview with Elwood. That was
Oh, you did?
cathartic.
What'd you say to him?
I just he asked me questions about my life, and I was just it was cool. Yeah. He said you did one.
I did. Yeah, he
did.
came over here and he was sitting right there, and he was asking me questions about random shit.
It was cool.
He did he ask you about your room and stuff?
I think so at the beginning. Yeah.
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 He's getting because they're trying to. I don't know what he's trying to do exactly, but they're just for his girlfriend Jalen and their friend Dogum. They want to get a better idea of us for shorts and stuff, and so they never been in our room. So what's your room like, Norby? I describe it to them and give them a basic diagram of how it looks like. And his girlfriend Jalen drew it because she can draw.
Yeah.
And actually, it was pretty close. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I haven't hung out with Elwood in a little bit since we got those records from Goodwill.
Shout out to Elwood.
Elwood, yeah. I don't think Goodwill's gonna be looking at this. Elwood, should I say what we do? Oh God. Yeah. All right, yeah. So we Elwood will be like, Norby, there's some really cool shit. He has some random shit. Well, there's some really cool shit here. Come and I'll leave it in the back, and you can just come take it. And so we've done that for a few things now. Yeah.
I did it for something.
Yeah, you did it for something. Yeah. He's always if we do it, I'll split it with you or whatever. So first time we did it, we did a PlayStation 4. Straight up a PlayStation 4. Yeah, it was nuts.
What? That's funny.
Oh, let's see. Oh, Elwood's here.
Shout out
Elwood.
to Elwood.
Oh, and Moffat Cedar. Fuck yeah. Oh, dude, it feels so good to be back. Oh man, how's the mic
Cheers,
working,
everybody.
Norby? Oh man, so Elwood also gave me a singing mic, the one that I have.
Yeah.
So Elijah and I've been practicing music and guitar and stuff. It's been great. The mic's been really good, fucking really sick.
Shout out to Elwood.
Shout out to Elwood.
I saw your
Elwood.
text about the deco bags, or I haven't read it all yet, but I will after the podcast. So shout out.
And then let me see. Moffat Cedar. I've been editing some stuff with your videos in it, the videos that you made, the little edits. So yeah, I'll let you know when you'll see when it's released. But appreciate it. Your videos are sick. Edit some more.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You all right?
Based, yeah. Oh, Moffat Cedar, did you see that fucking thing I sent the Discord? The fucking the truth about iDubbz.
Oh, I think it's dead.
No worries.
Yeah, I really like that video. Yeah, I watched it all too, dude. I watched it within the first 5 hours it was released. It's pretty sick. I'll send the shorts interviews right now. I forgot. Oh yeah, please, yeah, because I was about to export that video. It's not export. There's a few things I got to do, but it's pretty close to done. Oh, and Anthony, if you have any extra footage and stuff that you want to send me, I'm putting together all these different edits, just extra stuff I have and just people from friends and stuff.
Sure, just anything.
Literally anything.
All right, cool.
Literally anything. I'm putting Elijah's fucking video in there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a little edit to yours though, Elijah.
No worries.
Just the one trash can part. The Zoom. Yeah, that's it. The Zoom, yeah.
Fuck. Do you see why I went for it? Where
I
it's
do.
kinda
I do. No, I see because it zooms in and it zooms out. It's just the.
It looks bad.
It's just that when you zoom in Adobe, not on the camera in Adobe, it just looks like an edit.
Oh,
zoom.
did you do? Oh, it was a post.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see.
I should have just zoomed in on you guys.
It would have been cool, yeah.
How much did you zoom in? 4 times.
The zoom is a
I'll
transition.
I'll show you
That's funny.
the before after. I'll show
Okay.
you the edit if it works. If it can work while streaming.
That's a
Just-
cool ass angle though.
It was cool. No, it was
the trash can.
the camera angle was cool. It was just that zoom. It was just that zoom.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the film fans out there. We're back. We're back with a bonus episode today.
Bonus episode, yeah, this is a catch-up episode. So Wafatu said the part where they were all watching Sam's old video was surreal. You ever seen Sam watch one of his own videos before? Oh shit, offline. Yeah, I'm just offline it. Fucking So you remember Sam Hyde?
Yeah.
You guys know who iDubbz is?
I heard the name. I don't know.
He's
if I
like
know
this.
it.
He's this really famous YouTuber. He's got like millions of subscribers.
And I don't know. I'm sorry.
You know who Filthy Frank is?
Yeah.
Okay, he's like one of like Filthy Frank. He was one of Filthy Frank's like henchmen back in like
Oh.
2013, when they're making like the raunchy videos and shit. But now, because YouTube's like the way it is, you can't make that kind of content anymore. So he like makes really like kind of mainstream shit nowadays.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but he does these things where he makes documentaries of like not obscure, but like YouTubers who were famous and like kind of like fell off. Like not even like real YouTubers, like just people, just like random fucking people. So he's like, I'm gonna do one of Sam Hyde, and Sam Hyde was like, he and himself and his crew together to like gaslight the fuck out of iDubbz. So they're just like fucking. He said they're gonna buy a bunch of Pokemon cards and talk to iDubbz about Pokemon like it was this big new thing, like it was like cryptocurrency. He said he wanted to do oh fuck, there's a bunch of shit. It was really fucking funny. But it's this big, like, awkward, like, troll thing that's happening. There's a lot of drama behind it, but it's pretty entertaining.
Have you been keeping up with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I watched the whole thing. I follow like a good portion of the Sam Hyde's like film crew, and so like so they made this documentary, and iDubbz didn't do anything with the footage. He didn't edit it. It's like it's clear he's trying to like take a step back from it. Like he's like Sam Hyde's got this reputation or whatever, and also the whole experience was like this big trolling thing that iDubbz wasn't in on, so he clearly felt weird about it. Like it's like 2 hours of footage. 2 hours of footage of iDubbz just being like awkward as fuck and like really uncomfortable. And so yeah, it's so like fucked up, but like really fucking funny. But as soon as they released the video, all of that entire crew on Instagram was just putting out like fucking like all these posts about it, and so they're just trying to blow it the fuck up because iDubbz wasn't doing anything with the footage that he took. So there's like, I saw this one post where they're like at Keemstar, where you at, like trying to get all the YouTube drama in on, it's this whole big thing. Let me see. Elwood said, I was watching the previous screen tongue right before this, and the energy difference is noticeable and appreciated. Thank you, Elwood. Well, it's been, we were all really trying to get shit done. Oh yeah, the fucking the one just before this, the last one.
It was like half hour.
Yeah, that one was. Yeah, that one. I felt bad about that one.
We were all. It's like we just watched the movie too, so
It's
like
for AI.
Let's see.
Been
Blunton
talking
said
I'm ready
yes.
to talk
Pop.
about it.
Oh,
Papa Frankie.
Brandon.
Is that
What's
Brandon?
up, Brandon?
He said certifiable YouTube drama, can't get away from it. Lamau. Waffle Teacher said still waiting on Hassam and Sam to fight. That'd be fucking tight.
Brandon, I love you. I love you. Where's Brandon? Wherever you are.
Oh, can they see this on the feed?
Yeah. The see the what?
Just Premiere.
Not quite. I still have to like reset up everything.
Oh, okay.
I know it's a bummer. Let's see. Why is it doing that? That's the first time I've ever seen Adobe do that.
Premiering at the 2022 Cannes Film Festival.
I hope I have that aligned right. So this is how it looked before. They can kind of see it. Not that one. They can kind of see it on my, like. No, they can't see it. Never mind. I'll just show you guys real quick. So that's that zoom that we were talking about. That zoom right there.
Oh, the transition.
That transition, yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about. It was like that's the only thing that bothered me about it. Let me make sure this thing's perfectly aligned real quick. Okay. Oh fuck.
That was a fun day.
That was a pretty fun day. And so this is what. Let me render it because it's gonna fuck up. Please don't take too long to render.
What
Okay,
does
cool.
rendering it do?
It just makes it like, I don't know the actual science behind it, but like before it's like choppy, render, smooth.
Basically, it's like a mini export, where instead
Yeah.
of doing the whole project, it's just the one clip. Usually when it has like effects, or it's just
Okay.
a big file.
All right, let's see. Blunton, is that Brandon?
Yeah, that's Brandon.
He said, "What's up, Eli? I love you too, G." Elwood said, "I shared the stuff to you, Norby, on Google Drive." Sick. All right, tight. Tight. Oh, Blenton, he also followed me. Thanks for the follow, bro.
Oh, I got the Premiere files too. If you want to see the Yanni stuff. I know
Oh
we were
yes,
talking about that.
yeah. You said you were gonna re-edit it.
Yeah, because all right, so I went from I was gonna start re-editing it, and then there was already an issue with the export. I was telling this about this. Where it was exported in 4K, but it was visibly pixely, and so I'm like it must be still like the 720 proxies because I had a bad feeling about it already. And so yeah, it turned out to be those after doing some research. You go on the forums and shit like that, and then there's a few solutions, but basically I didn't want to start from scratch with the edit. I just wanted to adjust what was already there. But in order to use the actual edit, I have to replace each clip to put the 4K. It's not that hard. It's tedious.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that, I was gonna try to do something different, but now I'm just like I might as well just like finish it. Like it feels like pretty like ready to, in a sense, ready to move on. So just kind of just like finish how it is. But I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Doing that makes it feel good. It makes me feel good too, because like, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
The backcountry viewers out there.
For anybody who doesn't know what Yandi is, what he was talking about, it was a short that we had Anthony had to make for his cinematography 2 class, right?
Yeah.
For cinematography 2 class. So there's a bunch of people there, a bunch of kids, and like student kids. I mean, college kids, not like little kids. We shot it. Elijah and I both acted in it.
High five for making
five.
that.
Yeah. Woo! And then when they're editing it, there's like some malfunction, so they had to restart from scratch in terms of editing.
I wouldn't even say it was a mistake or anything. It was a learning experience.
There you go.
But yeah, just doing that. But I was gonna say too, stay tuned. We're working on something this week, everybody.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty fun.
that's
We'll
fun,
hit
too.
you up about it if the
what's in the
schedules
chat?
line up. Yeah, I
Open
know.
up-
That's what I'm
open
saying.
up
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, this is how I changed it. I just try to keep it simple.
Mhm.
The change simple. At least something to like, because I don't have the footage, so I can't actually edit it. So I just have to
Yeah.
put something over it,
Okay.
That works.
Yeah. And then that's elongated a little bit.
And then it fades back into like the
Yeah.
camera zoom instead of like the edit zoom.
That was a great clip of Kate walking by right
Yeah.
there. It like made everything flow so well.
Don't see. All right, back to where were we? Hey, OBS.
Oh, who's on the screensaver?
That's fucking Bradley Noel from fucking
Sublime.
Sublime. Yeah. I was like, I liked so many of his pictures. I'm like, this picture looks
I
sick.
thought it was.
Wait,
Yeah, it
wait. Wait. I want to see the picture again.
Oh, you want to see it? All right, sure, for sure. I like how you can see like his ass hair. It's funny.
You like Sublime, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yo, he's got like sick ass Sublime shirt, man. He's got like a
Yeah.
sick shirt.
I have a baby size one too from when I was an infant.
That's really sick. Fucking I know Kate also grew up with Sublime, so for Christmas I just got her a bunch of Sublime shit.
What'd you get? What'd you get, Kate?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, there's this really cool hat. I got a Sublime shirt, but Johnny got Norby this one shirt that was crazy. It was also a Sublime shirt,
Oh yeah.
and he found it online. He paid like in person.
Store, yeah.
Where?
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Johnny was like, "Merry Christmas." I'm like, "All right, cool." And I open it. It's like a Sublime shirt. It looks sick. I'm like, "Oh, this is cool. Thank you, Johnny." And he's all like, "No, dude, this is from 1998." And it's like, "Oh shit, this is an old shirt." So I was like, "This is pretty cool." But yeah, Sublime. Oh, Sublime.
I didn't know that like the singer died.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
My dad knew that.
When my brother got that shirt, he showed it to my dad. My dad's like this fucking like he's in his 50s and he's a lawyer and shit. And he's showing my dad. My dad's like, "Oh, Norby looks Sublime." And he's like, "Oh, Dad, you know what Sublime is?" He's like, "Yeah, it's my fucking generation." And he's all like, oh, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, man, it's crazy that the singer died. Johnny's like, he doesn't know anything about it. So he's like, the singer died? He's like, how could you know about Sublime and listen to the music and not know the singer died? He's like, oh shit, he died. He's like, he died of a heroin overdose. And Johnny's like, oh shit.
It's funny that generation is in their 50s.
Yeah, they haven't. Oh man, yeah, all the Gen X. I don't know what the fuck happened to Gen X.
We were saying that about millennials, and then I was talking to
Millennials, yeah.
Deja about that too, where like seems like stuff happens or whatever, and now it's like they're gonna say that about us too. Maybe it's just every generation.
Yeah, I think it is, but like, millennials are like just starting to get kind of like.
They're gonna get boomerfied.
Yeah, they're gonna get boomified. Gen X is definitely on there. I was Christmas fucking dinner and I was like in a bad mood. My dad just like talking to me about like, I don't understand your guys' generation anymore. Like I'll admit I don't understand your guys' generation.
Why did you say?
I was like, he was just like, I should have asked him why. I thought it was interesting that he said that because I was like, yeah, it's like, I feel like you guys don't understand us too, like type shit. All right, let me see. Elwood said a few things. He said Yandi will rise again. Elwood, he also said
yes, it will.
It sure will. He said, I'm in quarantine right now, but it's been a little more than a week, so I should be down. Let me know. He said, what did everyone get for Christmas? Nirvana is Dad Rock.
What? Yeah, after I played Pearl Jam, I played Nirvana. It's like, oh, my favorite band.
It kind of is becoming Dad Rock, but like
Nirvana's sick. Fuck.
Waffen versus Elijah showdown to the death.
Oh, here, I'm wearing all my Christmas gear right now.
Oh, badass.
I got these pants from my sister right here. I got this shirt from Deja's uncle. Everybody go check out Lord of Booty. He's an artist out there on Instagram. Like, you should really check it out. He's a cool guy. And so I got this cool shirt. Check it out, Cameron.
Oh, shit. Let me try to get it. There you go.
It's very comfy. And so yeah,
You plugged.
clothes are cool.
He said, Waffen said, I mean, comma, it's good, Dad Rock. It's good, Dad Rock. It's just like, no, it's sick, Dad Rock.
That's a vinyl tongue discussion.
That is a vinyl tongue discussion, yeah. All right, so this is a Screen Tongue episode 24.5. The last episode we didn't get too deep into it. We were like, it was a big consensus. We're like, yeah, we need to have like another episode where we give these movies proper discussion.
I had a time constraint.
And also even just Elijah had a time constraint. And even just like talking about like movies we watched recently. I haven't watched too much since that episode, but like before that, in between those two episodes, like the last one and the one before that, I watched like a bunch of shit.
There's definitely a lot to catch up on the rest of the
Yeah,
watch.
like even like Hellraiser was like in between that. Like I did one of the things. Bunch of shit. I even watched I watched Come On.
Oh,
What the fuck else did I watch?
you saw that in theaters?
I did see it. I saw it with
That'd be
Elwood.
cool.
I saw it with Elwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or how late do we want to start back? I want to.
As far as anybody wants to go.
Final Tongue 2022. I should have written it down. I should start writing stuff down.
It's gonna be leaked now. It's gonna be everyone's gonna say it's an announcement, and we haven't put out the official announcement for it.
For what?
Oh, sorry, I'm just about Vinyl Tongue.
Oh, Vinyl Tongue. Yeah. Elwood, shut the fuck up. You want one?
Nicotine.
I saw Dune.
Oh, Dune. Yeah, we haven't even
In
talked about Dune.
November.
We haven't even talked about Dune.
That was
Wait, did any of you guys see Matrix Resurrections?
no.
Oh.
You I saw
Did
your.
you see it?
Oh,
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it twice.
Oh
I saw it
shit!
twice.
Okay, so I saw IGN review it, and there was like some spoilers in there, so I get the gist of like some of the shit they were trying to do in there.
Man,
I don't
I could just talk about that movie this whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. This is all I'll say. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily good, but I can't stop thinking about it, and not even not in a mind blowing way like the first Matrix is, because that's what like.
Yeah.
All right. On one hand, it feels like if anybody's gonna ruin the Matrix, at least it's the Wachowskis,
the originals,
you
right?
know.
Well, they're not so original anymore.
They get into it in the movie actually, but
Do they really? No way. They
but
talk about their sex change.
not necessarily their sex change, and this is not really a spoiler. You guys all seen the trailer, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you know Neo's back.
Oh yeah, Reeves.
And like basically, if like the first act of the movie is just like a stand-in for Lana Wachowski, which is it's really interesting.
What do you mean?
I don't want to say too much besides that.
Okay.
But no, in terms of like just like being very self-aware and referential about that sort of stuff.
That's what IGN said about it. They're just very like meta.
And then I started doing some research because I was thinking about this the other day because like it's weird that the modern time, like the modern era, was an actual like era in time. You know what I mean? Like that, but that's like in the past now. Modern, the word is like in the past now, and
It's fucking crazy.
then there's like the postmodern era that's like kind of like the culture that we've been grew up on or like came right before us, but now it's like this weird thing like it's too long with postmodern. Like things are changing in a way where it's like, all right, what is the world then? Like what do you call it though? What's postmodern? Like how do you actually define that?
I remember thinking about that a lot. Like there's a lot of like postmodern art, postmodern music. I'm like, what the
But now, but now,
I'm like
our generation, it's not necessarily coming from us, but like in this time period, it's like it's different from that stuff. You know what I mean? It's outdated now. It's dad rock. Right?
Yeah.
So I guess I guess it's called meta modern, or it's a.
Oh, dude. Oh man, that's all right.
I guess there's a lot to say about that, but
Yeah.
hey, sorry. To sum up, what I want to say is that part of it feels like an interesting exploration into things that are actually genuinely new. Does it execute it? No, but it's new, or it's like
Okay.
makes you think. But on the other hand, the more you think about it, you think too much, and it's like, oh shit, did they actually like? It's like it's almost like they took the blue pill, and then when you actually start to think about the movie, and it's like. The whole thing about the Matrix, in a sense, is like to fuck the man. You know, it's like punk rock, and it's supposed to, in a sense, what it makes you think is that like the first movie actually like failed in its actual goal. Beyond being an entertaining movie, if like the message really is to like fuck the system, all that, it did the opposite of that. It created a whole franchise, and we're getting a new movie from that. From the same person. I'm just like, wait, what was your whole thing? So it's almost like they took the blue pill and like they're acknowledging the fact that like the world's fucked in a certain way. Sorry, not in like actual way, but like in a sense where it's like. It's a different generation. I mean that to say that it made me think about what's the next era, and it's crazy that we're alive to see it.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody alive to any sort of shift, you know what I mean? I know we'll probably talk about it during the recently watched, but like Licorice Pizza and all that. Licorice Pizza is interesting, I saw like a Letterboxd review that called it "Once Upon a Time in the Valley," and that's really how it feels, right? And it's interesting to see like filmmakers like that. They're like. Fuck, they don't even know. Kind of like it has to like. I've seen and I watch. Did you watch any of like the interviews? Like he was at all the screenings, just like kind of giving Q&As.
I saw this one a little bit with him and the two actors. It was like after one of the screenings, not too much. Then
I've only seen like one of them, but in the one I saw, he really just said like I just really wanted to recreate like my childhood.
I feel like I heard something like that. Yeah,
which is interesting because maybe that's what you do when you get older, right? You just like
you look back.
I guess look back or whatever. Beyond that, yeah, Matrix Resurrections is a movie that came out that I don't know. I guess I would recommend you guys to see it, but like
I kind of want.
It's like with a question mark. Yeah, go see it.
Is it like okay? It's just from something you said. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but like, is it like saying they actually took the blue pill?
Well, no, I mean. It's not even like something like
I don't know if that makes sense. Like almost saying like what they did in the Matrix was like the blue pill.
Yeah, because in a sense, like you got to think of like a movie as a Matrix. Like it presents you a world. This is how this world looks. This is how people act in this world. These are the rules of this world. Like the quote unquote message a film has, right? Even if it's unintentional or not, when a film presents something in a certain way, you can't help but feel like it's. If you have like the awareness to say like that's different from the real world, it's presenting its own matrix. This is the rules of this world, and so in a sense, like, because afterwards I started like reading some stuff because the first Matrix it seems to be inspired by Baudrillard, the philosopher, and stuff like that. Or I don't even know if it's from him, but in my research, I hate to say that. That sounds really whatever, but there was something about like the moment you think that you're outside of the system or like you can see beyond it is actually when like the most into the system, because now you can't distinguish between what's real and what's not real. In regards to like, there has to be some level of self-awareness of like, we all contribute to it happening, because, you know, in a sense, it's like the social contract that we take. But beyond that, I guess it's just like I don't know, the movie's just an acknowledgement that like we're in the blue pill. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. No, it's. But the thing about it is that it really does benefit if you know, like, if you've seen, like,
I've seen the movie.
If you'd seen all 3 of the movies and the animation.
Oh, gotcha.
But in a sense, it doesn't. But like, I guess I don't. It made me think about these things after just watching those recently. I've been going through all of it leading up to this. Still got to finish Resurections, Revolutions, but we wanted to see Resurrections, and we promised we go back to watch Revolutions. So yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let me read some stuff they're saying in chat, because some of it's kind of cool. What's either based? I've got a decent vinyl collection, around 250 LPs. Elwood said, shit, sorry, I mean, there is no vinyl tongue. Elwood asked Waffen Cedar, what's your most valuable vinyl, Waffen Cedar? He said, I'm not actually sure. The most I ever spent on one was like $80. Elwood said, Neo flies into Mr. Smith's cock and makes it explode. Brandon said, true, canned. Elwood said, do you have Ween in the collection, Waffen Cedar? He said, I wish, haha. Then Elwood said, it was weird when he said he wanted to make a film about his childhood when he already made Boogie Nights.
I guess to say about the Boogie Nights thing, one feels like, in a sense, like you write what you know, and in a sense, he kind of did that. To be as young as he was, to make something that feels so, you know, detailed and in depth, you have to have grown up there, in a sense, right? But it's interesting to go back to it, that I guess. But
this one seems more of like his childhood, just with the way the story is too.
Yeah,
like he wouldn't have been like the main character's age, but. It's based on like
he has
a friend,
a whole bunch of siblings, and it was the producer, you know, friend who had those.
And if like his dad was like in the film business and stuff, he had to have known like people along those lines.
And that's interesting too, because like I forget, I saw this like interview where Quentin Tarantino was saying that what was cool about Gen X, and why Gen X can make cool, what like they actually made progress in the film in the 90s and stuff like that, was because like they didn't grow up in like the 60s. Everyone talks about the 60s as being so cool, and they just had to hear stories about the 60s, you know. And so like all of it was just you became very well versed, and you became very well versed in pop culture, because that's how you
your parents are always talking about it, your family's always talking about it. That's cool. That's
one cool thing I thought about Gen Xers is especially when like punk rock was coming about, they just wanted to reject all the hippie shit. They're like, no more fucking hippies. Or like the Beatles and stuff, you know, like the music got distorted.
It's like
and,
that
dumb.
inner desire to kill like the hippie in you. Yeah, because it's like that really wasn't you. That was like what your parents were.
Yeah, like you ever seen a SLC Punk?
No, I've heard
like
of it.
It's what's his name?
Matthew Lillard. I've seen the
and he's like a punk, and there's like this one scene where he's talking to his parents. Like, we get it, you know, you're rebelling against the system and stuff, you know, like fuck the man, yeah, but like we used to do that, you know, when we were hippies and shit in the 60s, and it was good, and there was love, and it was great. And Matthew Lillard's got like this massive like blue fucking mohawk and like a leather jacket and like studs all over it, and like, but you know, we just we think it'd be best for your future if you went to this college to become a lawyer. And he's like, and Matthew Lillard's like, for the first of my life, Dad, I'm 18, and I can say fuck you. He gives it 2 middle fingers. It's a funny scene, but that's like all that shit reminds me of, like, that's just like the fucking Gen X versus Boomers.
Licorice Pizza is pretty great.
Yeah. If there was ever a film to be an advocate to shoot on film, you know what I mean? It looks beautiful. Looks beautiful.
He still has like the lens flares going on too.
That was funny too. That it's like, you know, he that's his style. He shoots anamorphic.
Blunton said, "Let's go, Donnie." He said, "Let's go, Donnie."
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. Is that like an SLC Punk thing or something?
Donnie?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll get there.
I forget.
We'll
get there. But yeah. So what'd you guys watch? Just start wherever your memory takes you.
I'll start with today. Shout out to Deja out there, my girlfriend. She had never seen Clockwork Orange, so we watched that today. And this is probably my third or fourth time watching the movie. And so, but then watching it this time, I was it's an interesting movie. I guess where does it rank in terms of your Kubrick filmography?
I watched that movie earlier this summer with my
remember
grandma,
you telling me.
and I'd watched it like a year before, and when I watched it this time, it felt like it made sense. It was crazy.
It actually did.
When it fucking comes together, it's like just like kind of mind-boggling. And then like I haven't seen I feel like the last Kubrick movie I really watched was like Eyes Wide Shut.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't watched one in a while. But she's like on your mind a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like you think about him like when you're thinking about like film in general.
Yeah, when you think about film, it really is like it's one of the 10
so
degrees.
like I saw it again, and then it was almost like fuck. Probably just because it was fresh, but it's like I see why this one is like put up there with like 2001, because I feel like the generic answer is 2001. It's just like, what's your favorite Kubrick film? You think of the space movie.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, Clockwork Orange.
It was interesting this time around to watch it, and he did this after Barry Lyndon? Is that before? So this is his follow up to.
This was the
2001.
shortest feature he filmed.
It seemed like.
How long is it?
It's like
It's still
a little,
2.5 hours.
little over 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
2 hours,
yeah.
16 minutes.
Do you read the time on the back of the DVD?
Sometimes, yeah. But it's always like in the.
It's hard to find.
It's in like the hundreds. It's not even in hours. It's like
yeah, it's in the amount of minutes.
yeah, 100 in
Because I was like,
36
I knew it was 136 minutes. So I said,
okay, that's interesting because I was like, I couldn't remember when Barry Lyndon came out. So I was like, did this one come out before or not? But so the one he did before this, so technically this is his follow up to 2001. You know,
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange, right? Also, it's supposed to be like it takes place in like the near future, correct?
yeah, it's a little bit of a dystopia.
It's so interesting because coming off of 2001, which is like it's also depicting a certain future. In Clockwork Orange, it almost feels like a radically different future, like one that's like
It doesn't feel like the early 70s.
no
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like the early 70s, but it also doesn't feel like the future. It just feels like
It's like this weird gray area.
because it's like if it's the future, then like or like even say it was like the 2000s, like we had an iPhone or something like that. Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell's character, when he opens the drawer, there's like an 8mm camera in there, and like he goes to a record store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and then this is the first movie he made after he moved to I don't know when he moved.
It was a few.
But this is the first one he did in like the UK, right? Or like wasn't as necessarily associated with Hollywood in the same way the other ones were. Because you know how he kind of did everything in like London afterwards?
Yeah, I think he did 2001 in London, but it would have been near the beginning of that.
Because I knew he did that in London, but it feels because to me what was interesting about the film is that like 2001 felt like, in a sense, it feels very like Hollywood in terms of it's well produced.
Yeah,
It looks amazing.
it's
and,
crazy.
and everything about it, everything about it. But then in A Clockwork Orange, it almost, and I don't mean in a bad way, but it felt cheaper. Like it felt more independent. I don't know.
Elwood said something about that. So, Brennan said when he said "Let's go, Don," he said was talking about Don Cheadle.
Oh, from
He's in Boogie Nights.
yeah, the black dude.
War Machine.
Yeah.
War Machine.
Don Cheadle. And then this new guy, I don't know how to say this, Bama, said, I relate to Clockwork Orange so much. And Elwood said Clockwork Orange was like Kubrick proving that he could do low budget. Kind of like I said, it looks cheaper.
Yeah.
Then Elwood said, I only checked the time of the film on the box and only on the box. Then Bama said, 500 Days of Summer is so bomb. 5 stars on my letterboxd. You have a letterbox?
What's your
Brennan,
letterbox?
Yeah, what's your
name?
letterbox? We'll
drop it.
follow you. Yeah, we'll follow you.
You can see your awesome 5-word reviews on
Yeah.
Letterboxd.
I remember the architecture was like brutalist inspired.
Yeah.
That's like a big part of it.
and that's the interesting thing about it too, is that like since it feels like like low budget, or it just feels like independent. Even just the way it sounds, like it feels like just like the one boom mic in the room. You just get everything is room tone. You know what I mean? In the production design stuff, it was just an interesting like contrast between it's like the future, but like it's still in a sense has a 70s aesthetic, even just from the fashion, and stuff like that. Beyond like the jock strap and like the white uniform, like when he goes to the record store, the outfit he wears there, it's like that's so 70s. You know what I mean? The disco ball.
Yeah.
And it's like they couldn't actually interpret like make an accurate version of the future, maybe like the way they do in 2001. But, like this is what you do. Like it feels like an independent. But sorry. What's interesting about the movie too is that like I guess just that the fact that even though it's low budget, like you can tell, you can't even really tell. That's the thing, you can't tell. It's like it's still good. It feels unique. But yeah, where does it rank for you in terms of Kubrick movies?
I've only seen Barry Lyndon once, but like I really appreciate Barry Lyndon. Barry Lyndon, like
it's an achievement. Yeah.
I think of like the costumes for that, and like the
That's supposed to be like a huge, like movie's huge.
It's like
right?
Around the Revolutionary War, and like
Oh,
all
God.
this crazy British
the
shit.
the American Revolutionary War.
I think so.
But it's in is it the UK or is it France?
I think so.
Oh, is it supposed to be like
It's
French?
like in Europe.
It's a Europe.
Oh, okay, so it's not the American.
No.
No.
It's just it takes place in the 1700s.
It's probably the French one, because I know if the France and America was having
Yeah.
like a Revolutionary War like side by side.
Everyone like speaks like the old British.
And everyone knows, candlelight, all
yeah.
candlelight.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's fucking cool.
NASA made a lens for Stanley Kubrick.
I heard
for
about
the
that.
movie.
Yeah. For that movie.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
For Barry Lyndon.
Oh shit.
But
what does the lens do?
the f-stop goes below 1. It goes
For real?
it goes below
Wow.
1. So
Damn. How the fuck did? Wait,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
What
saying.
the fuck? How do you get it more open?
That's how I was saying. That's why they had to get NASA to do it. They couldn't even take it to Panavision. But
How the fuck? Man, I'd need to watch like a fucking like
that's what.
Barry Lyndon explain video. or
And then
something.
but it's to let in the most light possible to work with those candles. But then it does
Wow.
bring some, people talk about the moon landing and shit like that. It's like, dang, maybe that was the favor they did to him. They literally invented a lens below.
Do you know the conspiracy with that?
The
The
what
moon
beyond
landing?
just that he filmed it.
Yeah, people think that Stanley Kubrick fucking recorded the moon landing and shit.
And then he admitted to it in The Shining.
Yeah. Because he wears the moon, the astronaut.
Yes,
shit.
NASA.
Oh man, wait, the chat's blowing up. Let me try to read some of the important stuff.
Oh, that would make sense, because like NASA did the favor for him, and then he's like, I got you, NASA.
Yeah. So my brother just joined in the chat.
Oh, room 237. He changes the name of the room,
Uh-huh.
and 237 was something associated with the moon landing.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck, for real?
Yeah.
There's a lot
That's
of
kinda
stuff.
cool.
There's a lot, but some of it does feel like it's reaching. But sometimes too, then it makes you think too, like that
That's
it's
weird.
films like Eyes Wide Shut. Like you can't help but feel
The
like
conspiracy,
yeah,
all the
sort of
conspiracy stuff.
It's like, all right, maybe he was hanging around with
Like, just like-
the people that actually make the world turn or
Like,
whatever.
fucking deep state.
And then he
Illuminati.
dies before it's released.
Yeah. And they re-edit it. Then they have to re-edit it a little bit.
They like got rid of CGI.
CGI.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have.
There's a lot of conspiracies.
Looking forward to AI.
All right, so Johnny said Cockwork Orange is my Bible. Then Bama said for real, and like in terms of like we'll follow him. He said yeah, we'll follow.
For real, yes,
So he
for
said
real.
his @ on Letterboxd is
Right now, I'll do it right now.
Taiyaki. I think that's how you say it. TAIYAK and then triple I.
TAIYAK
Triple I. There you go.
Is it the? It's the. I don't even know what this emoji is. The blue one.
Blue one. Let me follow him too real quick. I'm gonna forget.
When I saw these memes when the vaccine came out, and like they did a test where like 4 out of 100 people would develop Bell's palsy from the vaccine, And Bell's palsy is like this thing that like paralyzes half your face. But then there's a version of this, you know, like the biting lip emoji.
I think so.
But it's this guy, and they it's just goofy. It's just really goofy.
Where the fuck is my letterbox?
Shout out to Tayaki. I just followed you.
There it is.
Looks like he or she recently. Oh, their favorites are Over the Moon. I haven't seen this, but I've heard good things about it. I think. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the one I know, but if you like it, I'll give it a watch. Let's see what you said.
What was the user?
Never cried this much over a movie.
Asian rom-com movie enjoyer. He said. Oh, no, he also said I lied. I didn't even watch Clockwork Orange. Johnny said same. It seems spooky. Elwood said Joseph Gordon-Levitt intimidates me more than my absent father. Johnny says my dad beat me. And I often said my dad is my dad. And Johnny said my dad happens to also be my mom. Oh boy. The other going crazy. Elwood said Kubrick said the reason why there's so many lights on set is because they couldn't afford to have external lights, so they built them into the sets. With Clockwork Orange, I mean. Elwood said Kubrick is a CIA asset. Johnny said Kubrick sounds like off-brand Legos. Kubrick. That's a good one, Johnny. Kubrick, nut brick. Kubrick. I only watch, and then Obama said, I only watch Asian movies. And Elwood said, Norby, don't even follow me. And I've met his mom. Sorry, bro. I'll follow you. And then Brandon went to Bama, seen Parasite, and he said, heck yeah. Bruh, it's so sad.
It's so sad.
Johnny said, I'm going to kill Norby's mom. Yeah, go ahead, bro. And then Bama said, you guys are riveting. Thanks, dog. I think he's talking about the chat, actually. Waffenseeder said, I only Waffenseeder said, I only watch North Korean propaganda films. Brandon said, yeah, it's masterful writing too. I miss this shit.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
That was cool as fuck.
Are you talking to me, Johnny? Stop stammering like a retard. Fuck off, Johnny. Come in here, dude. Johnny's literally in the other room typing in the chat. Stop stammering like a retard. Fuck off. Chat's so funny. Chat is so funny. I enjoy reading the chat. They deserve to be read. I miss you, Norby. I miss you too, Elwood. I didn't know you were in quarantine. That sucks. Excited to see you again, bro. He said he was for like a week. Stop streaming like a retard. Johnny said, no, you will make fun of me. What? You want me to make fun of you? Brennan said, Kim Jong-un display 50 trillion social credit upon you. 50 trillion social credit upon you. But yeah, how's your summer been, Elijah?
My summer?
Not summer, break.
Oh, my break.
I was thinking summer break.
Yeah.
Winter break.
Oh God.
That was my summer. Like, yeah, your summer, dog.
During like Christmas time, we were like really busy at work. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I had to work. I had to work on Christmas too.
You had to work on Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
It's open 24/7. It's not too bad because there's this thing where you get paid double on like
That's
holidays.
cool.
Yeah, so
and probably not as many people are coming in.
it was normal.
Okay.
It was normal.
Did you still have like a lot of work to do, or was it like an easier day?
It was all right. It was like literally just a normal day, but there was Christmas decorations, you know.
Okay.
Actually, to put up some of the decorations and take them all down is pretty cool.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
What shift did you work on Christmas?
I usually just work 9 to 5, so it's not like day or like swing shift. It's like in between.
Yeah.
It goes into both shifts. Elwood said there's no North Koreans in North Korea. There's only one person living there and has been trolling everyone for decades. Elijah's work made me so fucking depressed. The cookie he gave me was good though.
Huh?
He said, going to your work, Elijah's work made me so fucking depressed. The cookie he gave me was good though.
Oh, yeah, Elwood. Yeah.
Did you guys do that during the interview?
No, I was giving him the Woody Allen video back.
Oh, gotcha.
And his
gotcha.
wallet.
Gotcha. And then Waffen said, big if true, big if true, all the Korean military marches are just CGI. Oh boy.
Is that an actual like blunt? Not a
This
blunt.
is a black and mild.
Okay.
I still haven't finished all of them. I got one of each flavor of the black and mild because have I talked to you about black and milds?
I think you brought it up last time. I don't know what they are.
I know I've talked to Anthony a
Yeah.
decent bit about it. I noticed it was mostly only like black people coming in to buy black and milds, like literally only. Like that's not even like trying to be racist.
Yeah.
That's like legit an observation. I'm like, are they really just like buying these? And I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna buy one. So I bought one. I'm like, this is pretty chill. I actually I enjoyed it, and so I bought one of each flavor just to see which one I like. And I'm still going through all the flavors.
What's your favorite so far?
Original's pretty good because it's just a cigar,
Chill.
just chill,
Right.
just a cigar. Jazz is pretty good, but like jazz towards the end makes my stomach sick. At the beginning, it's pretty tight. Then so the different flavors, Elijah. There's this is original, which is black and mild. They have wine. They have a casino flavored. They have jazz flavored.
What is casino like?
It's like just like darker, like black, like a little harsher. You know? Then they got the sweet flavored. They got blues flavored. Then I forget. There's one more. But I forget. But yeah, I was talking to Kate about it. I was talking a ton of the flavors. Like, yeah, I got the fucking welfare flavor. Fucking
Welfare.
just make it like super racist. But they're pretty cool. I actually like them.
Okay.
Say one day, like, or when we all become successful directors
That'd
and
be-
all
that'd
that,
be really-
and
that'd be
making
great.
a good living, would you just start smoking like regular cigars, fat ones?
I would. Have you ever tried a cigar?
No.
They're like obnoxious. they're so obnoxious.
Because I just bring it up because I guess to talk about in the recently watched. I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, the one on Netflix. And after every game, he would smoke a cigar. It was every day, every game. It's like, damn, it's a lot of cigars, you know.
Yeah.
And but it feels like it feels like it's like obnoxious to smoke. You know,
Yeah.
it's just big
It's
and
fat and it's like obnoxious, just like in how big it is, but obnoxious and like
You could chew on it though, right?
you could chew
like,
on
bite
it.
it.
But that's almost like chewing tobacco. There's literally just like tobacco right at the end. Like, there's no filter or anything. It just like gets in your mouth. And then what else? It's like it takes forever. It just literally takes forever.
That's part of it though, right? Like
Yeah,
if you
it
just
is
go
part
out
of it, yeah.
like all night, you
Yeah.
know, have a drink.
Mm-hmm. Fucking I was watching this documentary on like, you know, the old like animated Batman series, like the original
The
Batman?
94
The
one.
94 one, yeah. The main guy behind like the animation, like he had a very specific animation style, which is almost like noirish. Like they had like you can only do like a certain amount of curves and like a certain amount of like right angle, like sharp angles and stuff. It's interesting. Like it's really interesting.
That's so cool.
It was interesting seeing his animation style, but it's like he like kind of he didn't invent it, but like it was inspired by other stuff. But like he was like big on like this style, and they were like, we want you to do this for this Batman cartoon, and so he was like at the head of like this animation department doing the Batman stuff, and they would go. He's like kind of eccentric. They would go in his office like whenever he was like assessing like their art, like the other art, like the smaller artists. Like they'd go in, like they'd show him like a character design, and he would just like call them in, like a secretary would call them in, and they'd go in his office to like be critiqued. And you know, he's like, it's like he's the boss, and they go in his office, it's like all dark and shit. There's like weird posters and like statues and shit, like crazy cartoons. And it's all dark, and there's just like full of just like cigar smoke. Like he smokes like right in their faces, like he assesses their cartoons. But yeah, cigars are just like there's something like really just like boss about them.
They'd be smoking it on the plane in the documentary, in the private jet.
For real.
Yeah, just cigars and cigars.
That's why I like watching like older shit, like Twilight Zone. Like there was just like no smoking till we take off. Then like everybody starts fucking smoking on planes and shit. Just hotboxing that shit with nicotine.
For real.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, the chat is like there's so much shit. Oh boy. Did you get the wood tip? Radio Days is by Woody Allen. Top 5 alien films. Let's see. Elwood said very cultured of. Waffeteer said very cultured of you, Norby. Did you get the wood tip? I got a few wood tips, a few plastic tips. I think I like the wood tip a little bit more. Woody Allen is a mutt. He's pretentious. Then a Muslim Jewish gay. That's not true. That's just straight up a lie. He is a Muslim Jewish gay man. You fucking troglodyte. I fucking knew it. Get a hookah. I've been saying I want to get a hookah. Like a sand person. Dude, yeah, hookahs are tight. I actually really like
He's made
hookahs.
so many movies.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's
His
still
name's
making
Voice
movies.
and goggles.
Yeah.
Johnny said
Not,
he's-
and it's like beyond the all the allegation stuff. He's like in his 80s too.
Have
Yeah,
you-
he's like 85.
Which,
But it's like, is it making the same movie? You know, he kind of.
They kind of seem like
Yeah.
that. I haven't
which
seen one.
which movie did I would give you to watch the Woody Allen?
Um,
He gave me a Woody Allen movie to watch too.
Somerset or like something with
I'm sure
heaven.
How was it?
I would've told.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch I was transporting it. I left it in my car.
Oh.
Elwood said I can do a spot on Woody Allen impression. Norby knows all about it. Dirty boy. Yeah, Elwood and I spent like 10 or 20 minutes just doing Woody Allen impressions.
Is Woody Allen a good actor?
He's just Woody Allen, bro. Straight up. I mean, he kind of is, but
He
just,
plays the same character, kind
Yeah,
of.
he just plays Woody Allen
Yeah.
pretty much in the movies I've seen. I've seen Manhattan's really good.
What's cool
Anyhow.
about Woody Allen? Like, why should I
He's
watch
a
his
writer.
movies?
It's
He's-
similar like to like Larry David. He's like a more cinematic Larry David almost, but more in a sense a Larry David that takes himself more seriously.
Okay.
You know, like like the neurotic Jew. You know.
The neurotic Jew, yeah. Fucking Elwood said my girlfriend's dad smokes cigars, but only when I come over to intimidate me. Then Wapitzer said my wife's boyfriend blows vape clouds in my face, but only when I come over to intimidate me. Elwood said he doesn't act. Yeah, he, Woody Allen, and then Wapitzer said Woody Allen is a pedo Jew. It's true.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah,
That's
he-
what I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
it's
He was like with like his wife's like
his wife's daughter. That's his new wife. That's his
Yeah.
current wife.
So
I
like
still-
his stepdaughter.
But they adopted her when she was like a baby.
That's
Then-
weird.
Yeah.
They like fell in love.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Even the daughter's like it's true love and shit. From what I heard. I still like his movie. I fucking really like
Okay.
the movies.
Yeah,
Manhattan, Annie Hall. Are those the big?
yeah,
Manhattan's
those are the
like-
two. Those are the two.
I've heard people say Manhattan's like the New York movie, and I can definitely like. It feels like it starts
Really?
off.
The opening.
It starts off
The
and just,
opening
like,
montage is
Do they feel like New York people?
like higher class New York
no, yeah,
people.
it's very definitely upper class.
Not like the assholes.
No,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh.
upper class New York.
You
but-
can tell like the New York assholes though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
You can tell,
how
like,
it's like
the
two
assholes.
separate like classes of people in the same city.
hmm
That's crazy.
But yeah, the opening
Are they
montage
nice
is just
then?
like fucking New York.
What's up?
That's
Are
kind of
they
like
nice people?
in the Woody Allen movie.
They're like condescending intellectuals.
Yeah, it's like the
Okay,
thing. Remember when we were
okay.
talking about fucking David Mamet and like how he writes? It's like only like a New Yorker could write like
Yeah,
dialogue like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
they're kind of like giving dialogue that's like 2 lines ahead and then 2 lines back. It's like just like a bunch of shit. That's kind of like how they
Okay.
talk. It's kind of like
Okay.
that. But plus, it's like Woody Allen dialogue, so it's very just like monologues. But like, it's good. It's good.
What's like a common theme in his movies?
Sex. He has a lot of sex in all his
the
movies.
big
Like his
movies-
character?
Yeah. Like in his movies, whatever version of himself he's playing, he definitely is like in his mind like an attractive like intellectual that like females are just attracted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck. What was the? There's this.
He's
oh,
really
fuck.
short, right?
He's like 5'4".
Yeah. Let me see. What else did he say?
Gordon Willis shot Manhattan. The cinematographer from The Godfather and in a lot of 70s
Oh.
movies like that.
Or
Or was it Annie Hall?
Diane Keaton's in one of those, right?
Annie Hall, yeah.
She's pretty good.
No, I think it was Manhattan. But yeah, she's pretty good. But before the Godfather, she was in something else when she was older, and I'd always known her from that.
Reds?
No. She's in Reds?
Yeah. She produced Elephant?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
In
That's
the
cool.
Charlie what's the name? You know, he used to do
Charlie Rose.
Charlie Rose.
His interviews are fucking interesting.
I've seen like I would say like 70% of like all of his interviews. Like I used to be like,
Really?
the biggest fan, and because he always have like you know the people in a sense I wanted to like. He has the Gus Van Sant, Diane Keaton one on Elephant.
Paul Thomas
He has
Anderson,
all
Quentin
of-
Tarantino.
all of Paul Thomas Anderson and Quentin Tarantino's interviews up until he got canceled.
Yeah, but there's always like this gravity with his stuff too. Have you seen the one with Max von Sydow?
No, but that one sounds
There's like
lit.
there's like a part in there where like Charlie Rose like straight up asks him like, "Do you think Ingmar Bergman has contacted you since he died?" He's essentially
cool.
asking that, and Max von Sydow sits there for a second, and he's like, "There's like a long pause," and he's like, I think he has." And then like Charlie Rose like asks him to explain it, and he's like, I couldn't explain it, type of thing. But it's like, it's fucking cool.
The people he has on, like, they respect him. Like
Yeah.
Tarantino and Paul Thomas Anderson, they give like very like frank interviews. It feels like, or like in my opinion, and that's why I always liked his stuff as an interviewer.
Roger Ebert's on there, I think.
Everybody,
It's really interesting.
But yeah,
I
Diane Keaton
wanna-
produced Elephant.
That's tight.
That is really cool.
Let's see what else was happening.
I was getting pizza with my mom the other day, and right before we left, Good Will Hunting came on the TV.
All the Wood banter. Elwood said he shot all of his films starting from Annie Hall and going until like the 80s. Elwood said, "Can I come on and talk about Woody Allen for 3 hours?" Man, I'll talk about him with you.
Episode 40.
Elwood
Yeah.
called. I'm so sorry, Elwood.
Did he call you?
Yeah.
He said, and Johnny said, "Enough of all the wood bantering. It's all you think about, wood." Fucking Johnny. Wood.
I saw Halloween Kills.
Talk about it.
Oh, yeah,
tell you
yeah.
guys
We
about
didn't
that?
talk about that, I think.
I recorded this voice memo like right after I
Play it.
watched.
Play it,
please.
please.
Oh no. It's not. It's. This might be embarrassing.
Can I give this a whiff?
Yeah, it's yeah. I got it for Christmas.
It just like gave me like really like mixed. I can't play it.
I thought he was talking about weed for a second.
It gave me. Hold on. It gave me like really like mixed reactions because did you see the you saw the 2018 one?
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't do something in the 2018 one that like I feel like they should have done. They didn't kind of like explain. It's like a slight spoiler.
Just
they
go for it.
They
Go for
didn't
it.
explain something in Halloween 2018 that would have made sense since like Halloween 2018 is a direct sequel to Halloween, like the original one. At the end of Halloween, the original one, you don't know where he goes, right? You would think in the one that's supposed to be a direct fucking sequel, they're going to explain it in some way. And since it's like a trilogy, now it kind of makes sense why they did it that way. But they didn't explain that, and it was like super frustrating. It's just like, yeah, the cops captured him. And it's like, what the fuck?
But like right at it's like that's like how it opens, right? With him in jail. So it's
Yes.
like all the mystery that was built from like the quote unquote 40 years that's supposed to be absent in this time has been solved, you know?
It's just like, yeah, they killed like the like coolest, one of the coolest like serial killers like in like cinema history. Just like they got him like that, you know? In Halloween Kills though, the thing that like I thought was really, I don't know, edgy in one way, I don't know, kind of, it had me hooked, but it was also just like you're playing like with intense emotions. Okay, I'm gonna like, this is like a slight spoiler. Like if I knew this going into the movie, it would have like changed the way I like looked at it a little bit. They basically like show the way Michael was captured.
Okay.
Like they show it, but they like also film it to make it look like the original Halloween.
really?
Yeah, they kind of like, there's like, some of it's like kind of, you can tell like there's like
Do they do
some
the,
added grain to it, you know?
do they do the digital de-aging?
Kind of, but it doesn't look terrible.
Okay.
It doesn't look terrible. But it also like, you're showing me Donald Pleasance right there. Kind of. It's like, it's weird, you know? And they made him look like the way he did in like the original Halloween, and it's obviously like directed a little bit differently. Like you see him a lot more than like the way like John Carpenter would like reveal him. But they're in like the Myers house. They like recreated the set kind of, and it's just like that's something like really risky to do. I feel like I don't know, just messing with the original like that directly in a movie.
Play the
And then-
play
and
the,
then-
the recording. Play the recording.
I'm in the movie. Essentially, Halloween Kills. Literally, it exists so that Halloween ends.
That's why
Because Halloween ends is the next
Halloween
one.
killed.
that play the thing. Play the thing.
I'll see if for some reason when I press play, it's doing that.
We need Julio.
Julio.
Maybe just close the app and open it again.
Okay, I might have it connected to something. I'm gonna turn that off.
I didn't say that about. I know I said I wouldn't talk about Matrix Resurrections more, but
That seems like something that it would make
they
sense.
do a lot of stuff in the movie. But I also want to talk about the new Spider-Man movie too.
Oh, Angel's in the chat.
Angel.
Elwood said,
up, Angel?
Elwood said, I gotta go because it's Jalen's birthday, so we're gonna stream a movie together. But I love you all. Have a nice night, boys. You too, man. Tell Jalen we all said happy birthday.
Have a good night. Happy birthday, Jalen.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I follow you on Letterboxd. Dig your reviews.
She's making a wizard shirt for us.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
OMG.
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. He showed me the design. It's pretty tight. Johnny said Pooner and Hot Fire. Shut the fuck up, Johnny. Brandon said night canned. All right, cool. Really cool. All right,
Shout
sweet.
out to Angel. Hope you're feeling better out there. Let us know when you can get on here.
Yeah, he
Bro,
said.
Or what do you say?
He said, "What uppers, guys? I wish I could have made it, but yeah, everyone in my family got COVID. No worries, bro. It's pretty
I
responsible."
look forward to Anomalisa. That'll be a cool discussion.
All the movies. I don't know if you guys have seen the other.
I haven't seen Landscape Suicide or Anomalisa yet.
If you need
but-
the Criterion login, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Is it available?
I think it's only on the,
Okay.
the channel.
I think
Okay.
I'm still logged in.
All right, cool.
I saw Waking Life the other day.
Oh, how'd you like it?
That movie's incredible.
Yeah.
That was like, did you watch that on Ass?
Yeah, that was
okay.
Yeah, the first
Acid.
The first time the first time.
The first time,
Yeah.
that had to be incredible.
Yeah, it was on the come down though. So
Either way, that would be
That's still a good time to watch it.
Your mind's like still
Yeah.
running around.
and it's we can talk about it more on the actual episode, but it's a movie that is like it's like the perfect state to watch it in, because instead of a conversation with yourself, it's like a movie that's having the conversation for you. Like it's happening. for you.
It's like all the thoughts that you're thinking of, like when you're high, are manifested into a movie.
Literally.
And then it just makes me think, like, does Richard Linklater just like smoke like some really good shit, or is this guy just like, he's probably just like a genius? Because like,
He's so cool.
I like
oh,
that's how.
the way the dialogue is written in that movie is fucking insane. I still haven't seen it, but I remember really thinking the dialogue was just like fucking like
each character is like so unique.
yeah.
You know, it's not just like kind of like a monotone character ever feeding you like this like
But
intellectual.
It feels like
bullshit.
real
But
like
they're all real. They're all
it
real people.
feels like real
Yeah.
conversations too, which is what I really. It just like it feels like it doesn't feel like you're watching a movie. It's just like I'm just like watching this dude talk.
I remember you said it a long time ago, and I forgot about it when I was watching it. But then in the credits, like they show you each like person that's going with the character, and Alex Cox is the guy driving the car.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Jones is in that movie. Yeah.
Alex Cox. Yeah, I want to watch it again. I'm glad we're like waiting another.
Yeah. Let's
week
let's
for it,
not. Yeah.
but,
Let's not talk anymore about it.
Yeah, great recommendation.
Let's see. Brandon said also, hell yeah, Spider-Man talk will be great. Johnny said, Norby really skimming the fuck out of chat. I feel like a big nothing, as you should. Angel said a little tidbit, but I told Anthony that of all the Kaufman movies, Anomalisa is undeniably one of them. What? Alex Jones, the bald dude. Yeah, Alex Jones. Actually, oh man.
He has a great scene though, like
When he's in the car.
when he's like
Yeah.
screaming. We'll talk about
yeah.
it.
He's in another
A
Richard
Scanner?
Linklater
He's
in
in
Scanner
Scanner
Darkly. Yeah, he's
Darkly.
in Scanner Darkly.
You guys should check that one out too. It's actually
Is that
pretty
one
good.
like
Uh,
Waking Life?
It's in this. It's in the only thing is like the visual style of it is, but it's like an actual movie. It's not just like
Okay.
a conversation.
Dude,
like, it's
fucking
a story.
Robert Downey Jr.'s in that movie.
Oh,
And
shit.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Whoa,
Yeah. Keanu Reeves is
okay.
the main character.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Fucking what's the name of the other guy? The blonde hair guy. I keep forgetting his name.
Oh.
He's in a bunch of fucking movies.
Yeah.
What's he? What?
He's in
movie is
what's the Quentin Tarantino wrote it? The Born to
Tim
Kill.
Roth?
No,
No,
like
no.
Born to Kill. What the fuck is it called? It's like the
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah,
Yeah,
Woody
Woody
Harrelson's in the movie.
Natural Born Killers.
Natural.
Yeah, that movie's pretty tight. Scanner Darkly.
Born to Kill.
I remember watching Scanner Darkly like a few years back. I remember just like not liking the ending, but like I've seen a few clips of it. I'm like, I need to rewatch it. Great recommendations. Okay, so what else?
Recording. He's got the.
Okay,
recording ready.
cool. All right, let's hear it. Halloween
oh.
Kills fresh off. Elijah, thoughts?
Kind of in a weird mood. I didn't think it was gonna be great. Not even just from the trailer. Like, the trailer wasn't good. But just going in to a sequel to the 2018 Halloween, that movie isn't even as good as people say it is. It shouldn't be as acclaimed as it is. I don't think it's the best sequel. And even that one is a little offensive. I thought this one was just going to be bad, you know? And for the most part it was. But there's something about it that kind of gets me upset. It kind of gets me really upset. And, I remember complaining when I saw the 2018 Halloween that they never explained how Michael Myers was captured. I remember complaining about that, and I'll admit to it. You know, you're gonna retcon everything. You're gonna retcon Halloween fucking 2, which, kind of in a way, as boring as that one may be in the whole Halloween franchise, it's probably the best fucking sequel. It probably is. But okay, you're gonna retcon even that one. And I was curious how they fucking captured him. When I realized that they were showing that in this one,
Put it closer to the mic.
I was having a moment. I was like, oh boy. Now that I'm actually seeing it, I'm not sure how I fucking feel about it. And then they showed Dr. Loomis. They went into like the Myers house. Oh my god. It was crazy. And it was kind of cool. And then that scene when he comes out and he's like standing the way he did at the beginning of Halloween, I was having so many emotions. I don't know. I don't even know if they were good or not.
You know what they do? You know at the beginning of fucking Halloween where it's like the slow zoom out of the kid?
Yeah.
They do that, but he has the batteries! It's like full-grown Michael Myers, and they do the same thing.
That's fucked up. Oh, boy.
It was kind of cool. And it was like, you know, that would be the way. That would be the way you do it. That would be the way you do it. Yeah. Yeah, you guys you got me there. You know? Yeah, I'm proud of you. You guys are fans. Oh my god. But then just setting up this whole thing where you bring back all the characters from the original one, and just like, I guess it created tension in scenes where like they were about to die, because, you know, I don't want to see Lindsay Wallace die. I don't want to see Marion Chambers die. I don't want to see Tommy Doyle die. I don't even want to see fucking Lonnie die, even though he's like a ratty piece of shit in the original one. I don't want to see him die. But then you fucking kill him kind of like they don't matter. You kill him like they don't fucking matter. And it's like, I know you guys have watched the movies. I can tell. I can tell from that first fucking scene when he walks out like the way he did in the original Halloween. I know you guys get it. But it's like something ain't fucking working here with the way you're killing off these characters. It's offensive. It hurts. It's like, why? Why are you doing it this way? You keep fucking doing this shit in the sequels. Where, like, the main characters in the hospital are all fucking movie. You got, oh my god. Like, why? Stop doing that. Oh my god. Jamie Lee Curtis just sits there and fucking says evil's not gonna die. And then that whole shit, like, yeah, that's where it got goofy, and it's kind of like, I can just forgive that, because I don't think that's trying to be good right there with that whole, getting that mob of, like, fucking Midwestern, like, MAGA people almost together. And them all together and shouting, like, evil dies tonight shit. Like, that wasn't good. But I don't think, like, they're trying to make that good. That's just kind of like a thing you need for the plot.
It's 9 more minutes.
And I
Oh my
expected that.
god. Well,
That's like some Halloween 4 or 5 shit, you know?
Do you want to listen to all 9 minutes?
we
We'll
could-
listen at your discretion if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think
The
it's
thing that
valuable
hurts,
for
though,
us.
is
Okay.
taking these characters from the original and just kind of discarding them the way you do.
Kind of, that was like the big. I feel like that's.
And that, oh my god, the scene where, like, she leads Michael away.
that's
I saw that, and I'm like, she's running away, and he's following her.
it's really good. That was a really good recording.
Oh,
Fucking, that was really fucking funny.
I was in a state.
Somebody
I
in
guess.
chat, if you know how to clip that. That was fucking funny.
You should send that.
Oh
Yeah, send me the recording, that was
could
fucking funny.
yeah.
I might even just upload that to YouTube. That was fucking hilarious. Johnny said, I'm griefing my brother's stream. Brandon said, put it close to the mic, Eli. Fucking dying. Solo Eli thoughts. Brandon also said, actual gold amount. Then Waffle Teacher said, autism speaks. All right. That was a really good recording.
Yeah, they were just like fucking with a bunch of shit from the
Original.
first one, kind of, and I don't know. It just seems like almost like a box office movie, but like in a way that it just doesn't make sense with the way like movies are now, with
It's
like
not a
COVID
movie.
and shit. So it's like it'll be like a good like Halloween time AMC movie or something. You want to see Michael Myers killing people? It's like that's basically it. And it's like there are some cool kills in there, but it's not like you're gonna see it and be like, wow, that's like the coolest slasher movie I've ever seen. So it's just frustrating, you know. It's frustrating that like it's hard to make these movies for them. I don't know.
For them. Yeah.
But they're like,
I think it's just like a studio thing.
It's yeah.
they don't even want to make movies though. It's like it's not even doesn't have to be a movie because
It's like a product.
everything exists for the next thing to exist. Everything just it feels in a sense. Why is it's like a feature length trailer for content? You know,
Yeah.
especially in streaming. That's how I felt watching the Matrix Resurrections. It's like now this only exists so that people can subscribe to HBO Max and watch it at home. you know?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about most of the Marvel movies, but same thing with Spider-Man No Way Home and the spoiler stuff they do in there in terms of like, you know, it can't nothing can be its own thing. You feel the same way about Halloween. It's like everything is like that. But then that's the thing where when I was thinking about what's postmodern and like the meta modern, it's like it's almost I imagine like the snake eating its own tail, where like culture is cannibalizing itself now in terms of the way it's meta. Everything has to be self-referential. Nothing can actually just exist. It has to exist with the awareness that everything exists.
It's kind of like memes.
Yeah.
It's reminding me of memes a little bit. Like memes, obviously, like the lifespan of a meme is way shorter. So like you can really see how like we're like I don't even know where the fuck we're at in like memes. Like memes started out with, like the fucking like cat pictures and like the fucking like like the raptor wondering about shit. And now it's just like memes are just like so fucking crazy.
Memes like reference memes.
Memes
That
like
reference memes.
Memes will like
Yeah.
reference themselves like 5 times. It's like
Yeah.
crazy. It's like you have to like really be up to date with like meme culture to get
It's
it.
like essentially just funny that you're self-aware.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like just like a big like inside joke. You know? It's
Yeah.
like you're in on it or you're not, and that's a big problem with like why older generation has like such a hard time connecting with like the younger generation because like we just know like a bunch of inside jokes.
And then they don't know how to use the internet as well.
Yeah, exactly. So they can't even
They
figure out
can't
the
they
inside
can't
jokes.
differentiate between what's real and what's not real because you're trying to just
And
figure
then-
out what's going on.
And then the younger generation kind of like thinks that like the older one's like stupid.
because they
They can't figure it
Yeah.
out, you know? And then it's like you grow up and your parents, and it's like, for the most part, I feel it's like I can see where these people are coming from. You know, they're not like bad. They're not stupid people. You know. And then they can't fucking figure out the internet.
No,
you know?
I like at the gas station you get an occasional old person who like they just like plop their fucking card on the fucking counter. It's like I need gas. And, like there's a machine right there. It's like she puts it in the fucking machine, and we finish the transaction. And, you know, like the machine, the little card reader will make like a noise. You know, like remove the fucking card, dumbass. And they'll just look at it.
Yeah,
they just fucking look at it.
It's like they're waiting for you to tell them to take it out.
Yeah, it's like, bro, dude, it says remove card on the fucking
and you don't hear the fucking noise?
Yeah, it's like
it's loud too.
It's like dude,
I feel like it's loud for them.
At Trader Joe's though, they play a nice song, so my grandma always leaves it to hear the song. So I'm sure the cashier might be annoyed, but it makes her happy to hear the song. And sometimes when it doesn't have the song, where's the fucking song? You know what I mean? You know, they take it out, but there's no song. Sorry, but.
At least they're adding like some fun to it.
Yeah.
You know?
They do make work interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's see. Me and the boys at 3 a.m. eating beans. Do you get that? That was Brandon who said that.
Oh, maybe.
Obama said memes are layered. You got to be alive on the internet for at least 5 years. Yeah, that makes sense. Brandon said absolute, I don't even know, GD coagulations of shit posts. I think it meant God coagulations of shit posts are where we're at now. Yeah. There's been a study that past generations will always judge the passer up generation, vice versa. Makes sense. Yeah. Angel said, I noticed that older people just like insta give up. Lol. They'll make like zero effort.
Yeah. My grandma, like, she has an Android. She just got like a smartphone. And she like is really bad at using it, but she doesn't like try to use it too much either. It's like I don't know.
They're just slow.
I feel like once you get older, like the real sign of like getting old or being old is like when you realize that like time is limited. And then I feel like old people, they just like they don't want to spend like the amount of time necessary to like learn something new. It's like it might as well just like keep living life, you know, and
do something that makes me happy.
It's also that fucking the neural pathways, neural transmitters I was talking about. Like it gets more set in stone. I'm sure by the time you're like an old wrinkly man, it's just like your shit is just so fucked. You're just old.
Now does weed fuck with that?
Probably.
I mean, I can't imagine. Most things do fuck with that, you know. Like sleep definitely fucks with it, right? Like the best way to preserve your neural pathways is probably just like be sober 24/7. Like go to bed at like 9, wake up at like 7 or some shit, you know. Get good sleep, eat healthy, you know. But nobody's gonna do that.
I will.
And then like exercise, fucking you know, eat healthy, all that. Just live as healthily as possible is like the best way to preserve your brain. Doesn't mean you're gonna be cool or dank though.
So, are you excited for Halloween Ends? Or are you gonna go see it though?
I'm gonna see it. I'm not. I've like. Disappointment will not be surprising.
Do you feel wrong though? It's like it's like there's like it's like a true like you're a victim to like you're a victim to being a fan. It's like your fault for being a fan where you're going to subject yourself to the pain of going to see Halloween Ends, even in this movie. And you it was cool, but at the same time it feels wrong. It seems like to you like
you're like a domestic abuse victim.
Yeah,
they beat you and you keep going back.
That's what I did this morning. I watched. You guys ever see the show The Amazing Race?
I've heard of it. It's like a Channel 8 show, right?
Yeah, it's on Channel 8, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Survivor dude.
Yeah, he also did. He does Michael Bay's movies.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically it was big in like the 2000s, and it was the show where like it was all these pairs of two. It could be couples, family, friends, whatever, and they would all race to travel the world to do these things to like do all these stunts. It was like Fear Factor, but instead of fear, it was just fucking. I don't know, just like it was just traveling the world and shit like that.
Yeah, there's like a race aspect.
Yeah.
Wait, so like race aspect in terms of
like and at the prize at the end is you win $1 million. But basically,
Oh, shit.
you have to go to these checkpoints, and it's like this race. All these teams trying to get to these checkpoints to find the next clue.
What kind of race is it?
It's not necessarily like a physical. There's physical challenges, but it's like it's supposed to. It's like a.
Is it like puzzles?
There's puzzles.
Okay.
There's like physical like exercise challenges. There are food challenges. You got to eat different types of
Okay,
food.
okay,
But then
gotcha.
all of these like quote unquote challenges are just like obstacles in the way to get you to the next checkpoint. And it's all who can get to the next checkpoint fast through these obstacles. But like each checkpoint is around the world. So like and
What?
the interesting about the show though is that like it's almost like Monopoly or like the Game of Life, where like you go all around the world, but they give you like, all right, here's $200 for the next to get
Whoa.
to the next continent. You know what I mean?
What?
Figure it out.
That's cool.
And in between that, you got to eat like a fucking ostrich egg or whatever shit.
What
right?
the fuck?
But then it's all these couples. But then there's this one couple where they were in Kenya, and they needed to get a taxi to the airport, and the Kenyan taxi drivers were charging all of the people in the race $100 a ride. 100 American dollars, and so they all had to haggle with the fucking like Kenyan taxi driver.
Was it the same one for all of them?
No, it was just like a row of drivers,
gotcha,
and you
gotcha.
had to just talk to all of them. And then they were in the race, and they were in like second place, but then the spare tire popped. And so all the cars passed him, and he was so pissed off. And then they get to the airport, and they promised $100, and everybody says, "Here's $50." And he's like, "It's because you gave me bad service." But it's like a sort of very American thing to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they go, "Where's my fucking $100?" And he follows them into the airport, and then they call the police, and he goes to the police station. Sorry, long story, just to say that the guy was doing all this shit, but then it was an abusive relationship with the pair. It was a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
Because he was just being mean. You know, you're like, what the fuck? But it doesn't make sense unless you guys seen it. I don't know why I brought it up, but it was just to say that's how it feels. That's how it feels when you see like a Halloween Kills or just something like that. That's like definitely feeding on nostalgia, but not even. In a sense, it's just the only satisfying part of it is that it's nostalgia, which feels good. But besides that, it's like gross. It's like junk food. Like you're gonna shit yourself.
The
afterwards.
substance isn't there. The thing that draws you to ultimately like draws you to Halloween is like the first one, and how like Michael Myers is like really mysterious and kind of like you don't see him a whole lot, but when you do, it's like very blank, and it's like this really like subliminal type of terror.
And sorry, what were you gonna say?
And that's kind of like what keeps you with the character, and that's why you like him even through like the other ones, even though like each one like kind of like declines in like I feel like quality like by like a significant portion each time.
The law of diminishing returns.
But it's something where it's just like I grew up with it too, so like there's just like that childhood nostalgia of like I need to see where it goes.
Yeah.
You know? But I know it's like not the best film franchise out there. But also too, it kind of like gives me an idea of like what getting into like film franchises is kind of like. Like whenever I hear people talk about Star Wars, I feel that way.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you subjecting yourselves to like these movies that are being made like 50 years later by like the richest company in the world that's going to make like the most money that year? Like having that fuck with your like 1970s, 1980s childhood or whenever the hell you watched like Star Wars on like VHS or in the movie theaters or something.
It's meta modern.
It's fucking like it's fucking nerds.
Yeah.
Like people who aren't like film fans. It's like a lot of people at UNLV Film who like are into like Marvel and Star Wars and shit. Like I would hear them talk about like Marvel and Star Wars for like hours.
They're like
And it was
into
like,
that.
It was like, but they were like into like the lore of like each thing they were talking
The
about.
thing
So like
about
they're
it
like
is-
nerds.
I feel like there's half of them are that, but then half of them feel like they just saw like a few like YouTube explain videos and like
True. No, yeah, true.
which I mean that's how you can get into it too, but in a sense it's different if someone's explaining the lore versus you actually finding out the lore
Yeah.
and knowing the lore yourself.
Some of them definitely did. Some of them were definitely like I read this fucking book. That was written in like the 90s. It's like extended lore and shit. But yeah, like I remember like because I was really excited when the new Star Wars trailer came, like the fucking
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Really?
I was excited because I saw the trailer and I was like 14. I was like,
Oh no, are you no the first one? What is it? The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Yeah,
Yeah,
Force Awakens. Not
yeah.
Rise of Skywalker.
By
Force
Rise of
Awakens,
Skywalker.
I was like,
That's
I forgot.
the
I already
ninth
forgot the
one.
names.
Yeah.
So I saw the first show. I'm like, all right, I'm fucking.
yeah, Force
I'm
Awakens,
I
I
remember. I
remember.
remember. I was like really hyped for it because I grew up like really loving Star Wars, and I remember when I watched the movie, I'm like, that kind of like wasn't good. Like that really that kind of sucked. Like I was like 14, 15. And I was like, this fucking. I was watching. I was like, this blows. And after I just stopped following it, I just stopped. But like a lot of people were like hyped as fuck for Star Wars after that. I'm like, I just didn't.
You
get
made
it.
a logical decision.
Yeah, I remember watching. I was like, this fucking sucks ass. I don't know. Like,
I remember when that trailer came out, like the world went crazy.
It-
It fucked
it-
with the internet or
It broke
something.
There was-
records.
it
broke
did. It was,
records. Is there something static?
it
Or
could
is
be. No, it's probably just the audio on here.
Oh, are we peaking?
Yeah, I'll
is
turn it-
sensitivity thing?
Yeah, it's just these.
Or you think it's that? It might also just be.
I think it's just the audio.
Kind of
levels.
when I've touched that, it makes.
I lowered it a little bit, so we shouldn't be peaking as much.
Whoa.
I don't want to have it too
What's-
low.
What's interesting about that though is that like.
Somebody, Obama said, "Is watching explanations on YouTube?" no, it's not bad.
I like some YouTube.
I like
explanations.
YouTube
Hey,
explanations too.
I watch YouTube
Yeah.
explanations.
That's how I got into
That's
movies.
how I
yeah,
got into
YouTube
it too,
explanations.
yes.
I really got into Chris Stuckman reviews. At
Me
first.
too. Yeah.
Chris
Like,
Stuckman
fuck.
was awesome. Film Riot was definitely
Mhm.
there. I watched Screen Junkies, but besides their honest trailers, I was actually you know the channel that does honest trailers.
Yep.
I got really into like their other stuff, and I just like to listen to them talk about movies. And then, yeah, so I watched a whole bunch of
kinds of
YouTube
stuff,
shit.
yeah.
I'm subscribed to all of them. I watched the Screen Prism ones. I watched the Take. I watched Every Frame of Painting.
Oh yeah. yeah.
What was the other guy? When You See It.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick
Yeah.
Willems.
I remember
Film
that guy,
Joy.
yeah.
Cinema Sins.
Mhm.
Cinema
Sins.
Wins. Red Letter Media. The Nostalgia Critic.
Oh boy.
I watched all of it.
Nostalgia critic.
I
He's
hear
he's
like a lot
locked
of
up
people
memory.
don't like the nostalgia.
The
Critic.
nostalgia.
He's just
Ask
like-
Angel. If Angel's in the crowd, tell us, chat. Tell us about the nostalgia. It's just he's a meme. It feels
Yeah,
like.
he's just
Oh,
like
okay.
he's almost like the Alex Jones of like film critics.
Oh, for real.
I remember watching one of his videos about like movies that like everyone loves but he hates, and I don't remember all of them on there, but like District 9's on there.
What?
And he says like he like just shits on District 9, and it's like, what fucking movie did you watch?
Yeah, for real.
But then his reviews are interesting too, because like it's clear that he's like a film fan, because like he makes his own like just like little low budget film recreation things in there, with a shitty green screen or whatever. But like, yeah, so YouTube isn't bad. It's just
He did something with like Pink Floyd on the wall that a lot of people weren't happy about.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it
I'm
either.
not like a nostalgia
you're
critic.
not up on the nostalgia critic lore.
Oh no. I was like a video would pop up and I'd watch it and I'd laugh like a little bit or just be like, this guy's fucking like this guy's off the cuff, you know. His voice too is just like very distinct, you know what you're getting into. Even like the way it's edited, all the videos just like so like I don't want to say shitty editing, but just like almost like pre 2010 type editing. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's someone who got into like filmmaking videos in the 2000s.
Mhm, yeah, like literally, yeah, it's interesting. I have no idea what he's up to right now. I haven't seen him in like a year or two.
I don't really watch most of those anymore, but I actually just started watching some more Chris Stuckman videos again. Did
Me
you
too,
see?
yeah.
Did you see he had twins?
What?
Oh.
He's a dad. He's a dad.
Yeah. Wow.
Jehovah Witness.
Yeah,
Chris Stuckman's cool.
he's the coolest. He definitely was.
Do you know he could
top tier.
he's like really good at doing Michael Jackson dances.
Yeah.
He had a video like explaining his past. He's like, this is really important to me, and he just like starts dancing.
It's like some Mr. Lonely shit.
but like really well.
He's
Like he's
good.
really good at dancing, Michael Jackson dancing moves. Really good.
Bro,
He can
Chris
do, like, the
Stuckman is cool.
moonwalk?
We should.
Yeah.
I want to
yeah.
meet him one day.
That
Me
would be
too.
so cool.
I remember I was like a diehard
Hey, Chris
fan.
Stuckman, you're welcome to come on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be.
That'd be-
He was on Sardonicast.
Really?
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's like a few episodes with him.
That's cool.
Let's see. All right, there's some stuff.
We
in
should
the
send a
chat real
message
quick.
to him.
One of the episodes with him on, they talked about mommy actually.
Really?
Oh no
So,
shit! Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right, he said
That would be cool.
let's see.
That would be so cool.
Said that'd be insane, bro. If Chris Stuckman was on here,
I
I mean, dude, I think we need some more followers. I have less than like 100 subscribers. Obama said my final moments will be used watching the stream. Please, bro. We'll try to make it good. Halloween. Brandon said Halloween is very susceptible to rants. Obama said, yeah, Star Wars SUX. Brandon said, yeah, deep Star Wars lore is all over YouTube.
Brandon, I loved listening to you and Noah talk about Star Wars.
Brandon
That
said-
was like so much fun. I don't know what the hell you guys were talking about, but
He said sequels 7 to Force Awakens is meh. 8 and 9 are hot garbage. Is watching explanations on YouTube bad? We covered that. He said I had to do that after watching Lost in Translation. Teeter said big fucking nerd. Blah 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 blah. NC made the worst album parodying The Wall, or Nostalgia Critic made
Wait, he
the
made
worst.
an album?
He made the worst
he
album
like really did something
parodying
weird.
The Wall and got nothing but shit. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. He said, I actually know too much about Nostalgia Critic lore, like how he made a movie called Kick-Ass Lamau.
Really?
Wait, like, oh no, Kick-Assia. Lamau. Anyhow.
They tried to cancel him, didn't they? Or
Did they really? For what?
Not necessarily like for like with the rest of it, but there was stuff that came out a few years ago with someone who used to work for him or whatever, and I don't know. He didn't.
Like some like racist shit.
I don't even know exactly. It was weird.
That is
but
weird.
It was just
You leave.
'Cause
He's fine.
the channel they did the honest trailers. The guy who created Screen Junkies, he turned out to be like I don't know, doing weird stuff or whatever, and so. Yeah, that was a disappointing time.
People are doing weird. I don't get why people do so much weird stuff.
We should, yeah.
Let's see.
There's
Alright.
a lot of.
This is weird shit. I don't. Yeah. This is. Blah, blah, blah. Angel also said, I always like RLM's review series. Red Letter Media.
Red Letter Media. Yeah, me and Angel used to talk about Red Letter Media all the time.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
And then Obama said, when will y'all next stream? So.
Whenever Angel's free.
Whenever Angel for Screen Tongue. So we have different streams. We have the Wizard stream and then Screen Tongue. This is Screen Tongue right now. Last episode we didn't really feel like good about that episode, so there's like a 0.5 catch up episode. So we're kind of like shitting around talking about movies. We'll get back into the other movies.
Let me look at my letterbox. I feel like I got to narrow
I
it down.
I watched a lot of.
Yeah, we should get started like on the movies. We're already an hour and a half into this. And then so Wizard takes a break usually, and but like I have everything out for Wizard now in terms of edits. So we're planning on trying to stream it next weekend, like this Saturday. Coming back with Wizard, that'll be cool. So Saturday, Wizard streams like every Saturday, and then Screen Tongue's like every other Sunday. So we'll see. But Angel's gonna be the next guest on that, so we'll see what his availability is like. Obama said, I created my Twitch account today to comment on here. Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for the follow too. We have a YouTube channel too, if you want to subscribe to that, if you want. And then Angel said, yeah, Nostalgic Critic tried to not pay anybody, and apparently he was a tyrant. A tyrant, interesting. That kind of sounds like a dickhead. Okay, Twitch account. It's I think I have the YouTube account link somewhere here on the channel. I don't know how it looks like for you guys on watching the stream. But just click on the channel, and it's basically also it's basically just Backcountry.
I watched Juice.
You did?
Yeah, with Tupac.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
That was all right. Yeah. I like Menace to Society more.
I want to watch Belly. I was thinking of recommending it for the podcast.
Belly.
That's the
Okay.
one with DMX and Nas, but it's directed by Hype Williams, who was like the biggest hip hop director of like the
That'd be
90s and
cool.
2000s. He directed like a lot of like Tupac's videos, and did a lot of Kanye videos, and he's a cool guy.
Tai.
Juice is pretty. I don't know.
Have
It-
you?
Sorry. No, ask a question.
Have you listened to Tupac, or are you a Tupac?
So I guess it's interesting that I got the movie because I was at Zia and they had like this deal where like you buy a few like pre-owned movies, you get one for free. So I kind of wanted to like get a few, and I saw Juice, and I remember you said something about it. it kind of reminded me of Menace to Society a little bit, even though it takes place on like the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac was from the West Coast though, right?
He had. I don't even. Yeah, he was West Coast rapper. but
Okay.
interesting.
Okay. Either way. But it's interesting that like you asked that because like a few weeks ago, like right before like Christmas really heated up, this dude came into our store and he said something about, oh yeah, he had like some AirPods in. So I asked him, what are you listening to? And he said Tupac. So I asked him like about Tupac for a second, and I don't remember what the line was, but he said a Tupac line, and it was fucking cool. It was like some shit about like life and death and like shadow of death type of shit. So I listened to a little bit of his first album. I don't remember too much.
Tupacalypse Now.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much about it, but I saw he's a good actor in Juice. To me, it didn't seem like there was something that was like too special about it. Do you know what I mean?
The biggest part of it to me is it's the Tupac movie.
Yeah. I feel it's like kind of like a movie from that era to watch though.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's like of the movies, that's one of the ones you watch first when you
Yeah. I would definitely like
you'd watch
revisit.
Juice over House Party or something like that.
I would revisit Menace to Society a lot quicker. I still need to see Boys in the Hood.
Oh, you haven't seen Boys in the Hood?
No, I hear really good things about it.
Like Kareem said, it's they stole from Cooley High.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
shit.
right.
When did you guys see it on TV for the first time, or when did you guys
Boys
first
in the
see
Hood?
it? Yeah,
Yeah,
TV?
sometime on TV.
Okay.
I remember I haven't seen it in like a long ass time. I remember watching it in fucking like aftercare. Somebody just left it wasn't like an aftercare. It was like a fucking like a place where like, you know, like you drop off your kids and they just like watch you, and they're just like, I was like with the older kids, and they're just like, that's why we're watching Boys in the Hood.
Damn.
It was a long ass time ago. So movies.
I did want to say this one thing
Mhm.
about movies though. Sometimes when I think about like when we're talking about Star Wars and all the
Mhm.
sequels and remakes and shit like that, and it's like it makes you think like Matrix is on my mind. So like it feels like we're living in a simulation when everything is sequels and remakes and all that, because like in a sense it's like a simulation is like a symbol of something, but then so like first you get the sequels, which are just in itself in some way a reference to the original, but then you get remakes which are obviously a direct reference to the original, but now you're watching a sequel to a remake. You know what I mean? And then but the thing about it though is that like it's very declarative in its sense just to name the 2018 Halloween just Halloween, but we have to differentiate it as Halloween 2018, but it's called Halloween, you know, like so is this supposed to be the definitive Halloween, you know?
There's gonna be people that think that.
Exactly,
You know.
but that's kind of like with everything where it's like it's just sorry, I was going to say
You're
something
good.
bigger, but it just doesn't even, it feels like it doesn't even matter anymore. It's just
The movies that are coming out now are gonna be like the movies that are like on the probably like what for is going to be our kids like streaming services in like 10 or 15 years. So the movies now, like that's going to be like they're almost like I'm going to say Boys in the Hood, because I remember like when I was a kid, I used to see, I didn't know what the movie was about, but like I used to read the TV guide like pretty frequently.
me too.
And you would see like, you'd look for like when a movie's coming on or something, and you see a movie like that a lot. And I just happened to never see it, but like maybe for me it was like Catch Me If You Can. I probably saw Catch Me If You Can like half a dozen times from like reruns and stuff, you know? And that movie came out in say like 2002, 2003. So I was like maybe 3 years old when it came out. So Yeah. The people
Mhm.
that are having kids now, like the movies.
But the interesting thing beyond
It's
that
weird.
though is that the movies, like you said, that Halloween Kills only exist to have Halloween ends
Yeah.
happen. All the movies now feel like they only exist to serve to watch the next movie. You know, they're not even a movie. It is like, and then it's like, why are with like they say we're in like the golden age of TV, where TV, you know, is and it is.
Yeah.
TV shows are
Mhm.
great and well produced now and all that. But it's like this weird thing, and maybe there shouldn't even be a line, but it's like movies are trying to be TV and TV are trying to be movies in
Mhm.
terms of what their actual goals are. But it's just
Feels like you're along to get like a stamp on your hand, kind of.
in a sense,
Crazy.
it's like it feels like you're plugged in or something, because then just like what we kind of asked, we're talking about before in terms of the idea of everything becomes subscription based.
Mhm.
It doesn't even matter if you make this one purchase. The real goal and idea is to get you to keep coming back. You know,
Mhm.
you will continue to pay money beyond the fact of this one, in the promise of future content, right?
Mhm.
And so it's just like what's interesting about it is that like stuff like this, it's not necessarily new, but we were talking about this where it, at least to me, you know Tom Holland, the new Spider-Man?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you know
yeah.
how he's dating Zendaya?
Yeah.
Or like this that information had come out right a month before the new Spider-Man came out, you know, and some more people they do that, but then right before the new episode of Euphoria comes out tomorrow. So it's like, you know, are they could very well be a relationship, whatever. I don't want to,
Mhm.
you know, that's just tabloid shit. But at the same time, you can see the machine right there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And in terms of driving buzz, but then like everything, it's like you can see the machine. It's so apparent. You know what I mean? And it's to just be there is strange.
I think it's interesting being somebody like not necessarily like in the like the hypnosis of it, like being in the hypnosis like the new Marvel movie, or like did you see the lineup of all the new Marvel movies, like all the Star Wars movies are making like a Boba Fett one. It's like not being in that, like fucking not being in it, and just like observing all like the I don't know, like corporate movies, you know, just like very just like everything's very corporate, and you know all the tabloids and stuff, and just like watching it's very I guess disappointing, you know. It's just disappointing because it's like the way they're treating stuff that's like respectable is like
Nothing. It doesn't. I saw this interview, or I was talking to my friend about this interview. It was with Keanu Reeves talking to this little kid, explaining the first Matrix to her. She's probably like 6 or 7, and after he explains it, she says to him, "Why does it matter what's real?" And then so he asked us like, "So you don't care what's real or what's not real?" And she said no, and it like blew his mind. And it's like, all right, because I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about NFTs, because like, and it seems like just like with cryptocurrency or the stock market in general, it's like the worth isn't even in some sort of like tangible. Obviously, it has like a monetary value, but like it's not based on any tangible thing besides word of mouth and how popular, or like how it's only worth how much people, how many people want to buy it. You know, we are the actual like resource. It feels like, you know what I mean? And it's all theoretical. It's all the idea.
it's like the social value of something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the interesting about it though to me is that like sometimes like I've seen some things where it's like the idea of like a utopia is like somewhere where we evolve beyond the need for like physical value, and we really can just focus on like an idea, or ideas carry just as much merit as an object of trade. But then now to see it in actuality, it's like it's disappointing. It's disturbing in a sense, because like
I think
it-
'cause
what-
it's- sorry, go ahead. Good.
so I guess just to, like what an NFT? It's like I still don't get it in terms of like
I mean,
it's like it's just everyone can see it. Everyone you don't even own. You can't even touch it. It's like, and that right there in itself is like a simulation thing, you know. And then you think of like if like a movie is a matrix, and it shows you a world in a certain way, telling you the world a certain way, people act a certain way. But then you see it's like a matrix within a matrix of like, all right, this is a sequel, this is a remake, this is the spin-off TV show, you know, this is but then the whole new cycle of it, all right, here's interviews with the directors, you know, or the actors and all that stuff, and then you go watch the award show to celebrate it even more, you know what I mean? It's just
What are you trying to connect all those to though? Like what's having all that, like all the sequels, all the spin-offs, the side shit, the stuff outside with the actors and all the interviews, all everything that has the Matrix on it.
I guess just to say that in a climate that in a sense we thought that movies or going to the movie theater was dead until the new Spider-Man movie like broke another record and all that shit and making it already made $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
So people will pay to go to the movies. You know,
even that movie's pretty like kind of this movie's pretty meta too.
It's cannibalizing itself really. You know what I mean? I guess, sorry, that's just what I was thinking about, what you were saying about Halloween Kills. And also kind of what I was trying to say was interesting about Clockwork Orange is that in that film, you guys seen A Clockwork Orange?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Do you know anything about the movie?
I know a decent bit, but not like heavy plot points or anything.
You know, like...
Don't spoil it for me.
No. Do you know when it takes place? Like...
I know it's supposed to be like a dystopian movie. I know it's like it's supposed to be in the UK, right? UK. I know it's like about these like this gang and they like go around like raping and pillaging and stuff.
So
and there's like that scene where they like stretch open his eyeball and he's like watching some shit.
It's fair to say that it's a bit extreme in its stuff. But in like this like dystopian world, it's just a detail of the world. All of the art, you know, it's kind of like devoid of innuendo, and so
innuendo like
of like, you know how like most images, it's like it's a symbol for something. Instead of being a symbol, it just shows whatever exactly that it is. But in the movie, it makes this point of like all the artwork is just like pornography, basically. Like there's just dicks and like tits everywhere.
Yeah. Dude, wow.
But like but everything like down to like all a lollipop or a popsicle. Besides the innuendo, it's actually penis shaped. You know what I mean? It's just it's all symbolic.
That's very interesting.
But the thing about it though is like that's the idea that I say all that stuff about seeing the machine to say that when you the idea of like being in a simulation, all that is that like you go from the real thing to a symbol of the thing to a symbol of the thing. You know what I mean? We know what the Mona Lisa looks like, but not through actually seeing the Mona Lisa, you know, by seeing an image of it, which is a digital scan of an actual photograph, you know, which is in itself is just a reflection.
Like then you don't know like how many times it's been like, how many more pictures of it have been taken or something.
How many times has it been compressed? You know?
Like
you know
how many?
I mean?
Like where did this guy get the footage of the Mona Lisa? Like did he get off YouTube? You know.
And so just to see it all happening in real time is interesting. But then that's it. But then like all right, because I guess Clockwork Orange, like I don't even know exactly when it takes place, but it makes me feel like it takes place almost now in the 70s aesthetic, but like feels like that's happening. Oh, also I wanted to bring up, I saw did you guys watch Don't Look Up, the Netflix movie you saw?
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Fucking my brother watched that.
Is it funny?
The trailer looks so
It looks
dumb.
very over the top.
So like I like to talk about movies, but very rarely after I finish watching a movie do I need to talk about it. And I was in California, I watched it with my family. Not a great holiday movie to watch during the holidays. But Deja had just watched it too. And then we had to talk about the movie. We talked about it for like 3 hours. But the movie it's just
The premise is kind of crazy.
It's like Melancholia meets Network.
What the fuck?
But
It's like a weird comedy.
But directed by the guy who directed Step Brothers.
Oh boy.
Because that's what Adam McKay is known for before. I don't know. You know, like that story about how like when Rome like fell and burned,
Mhm.
they ordered the people to continue to play the fiddles as Rome
Oh,
burned.
interesting. I didn't know that.
And it's like in a sense to just keep distracting all the way to the very end.
Mhm.
That's how I feel sometimes right now in the state
Oh,
of
boy.
of
This is gonna turn into like a wizard episode, like real fast.
sorry. Yeah. I no, but I just in terms of I guess big budget movies. I don't even mean like the tentpole ones because you know Halloween Kills. It's a franchise, but it's still a relatively low budget film. It's Blumhouse. I mean, $18 million is a lot of money, but
It's not super blockbuster.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of popular films just seem to be just a distraction. I just feel like I'm
It's like
distracted
fucking. It's like
for 2 hours.
It's like the playing the fiddle. It almost reminds me of like Under the Silver Lake and what you're saying about Clockwork Orange art, where it's like they just
Yeah.
like it's devoid of innuendo. Like in fucking Under the Silver Lake with all the fucking, they're talking about like how they put like a lot of like sex symbolism and advertisement to get you to try to buy it.
In the future, it's just going to be turning into like what the thing is.
It already like you see like how you know like there was a time when bikinis were illegal to wear out in public. You know what I mean? And then you see what's on just on Instagram in terms of like you know what people are able to post and stuff like
Instagram's
that.
like
regarding-
almost like softcore porn.
it
in some
literally
areas,
is. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So and but like it's kind of like I don't want to say acceptable, but in a sense it is. You know?
Yeah.
People make a lot of
'Cause
money.
people are like, yeah, it's like money,
You
and then
can
it's like it's a fitness thing, or it's like, I'm just like, this is like I'm a model, or it's like I'm just
And
trying.
then
Yeah, it's a bunch
TikTok
of shit.
like exponentially like increases that by
Oh
like
boy,
the
I don't
algorithm
wanna
plays.
talk- I don't want to talk about TikTok. I
Sorry.
watched the whole video on it. Oh boy. Ooh.
So
Wait. How does TikTok? What were you going to say?
Oh god.
all right, just to sum it up, you like what's scary about TikTok is that it's like the next step beyond YouTube, where like YouTube is this like vast sea of like information and videos and all this shit. But the thing about YouTube is it gives you the quote unquote choice, you know, to actually click on the video and you can pause it. And TikTok, you know, it'll play the video for you and it keeps playing videos and it's never ending. You know, in back in the day in YouTube, the end of there would be a bottom of the
Yeah.
page.
Yeah,
The page
dude.
would end
Yeah.
pre-algorithm. You know what I mean? And now nothing ends. The App Store doesn't
That's
end.
kinda
You know,
scary.
YouTube, Instagram doesn't. And the thing about Instagram and TikTok and all that too is that like even if like the first 3 page posts are the ones that you actually follow, after that it's all recommended. And the thing about it though that's crazy is that like it really is tailored to like whatever your interest is. Like all I get are like fucking lenses or shit like that. It's like and then or certain movies are coming out. I had all types of shit getting ready for Matrix Resurrections trailers, you know, pictures, promotional information, and it's just like you're fucking plugged in. You know what I mean? And then, so yeah, TikTok basically the algorithm kind of favors if like you look a certain way or you dress a certain way or you know it's and it works. It literally works.
The TikTok algorithm. So TikTok was an app that initially was started in China by this like by Chinese developers, and in China, the amount of like surveillance they have on their citizens is like absolutely absurd and really concerning. Like they have facial recognition cameras like that recognize like everybody who passes by. Like the second the camera sees your face, it'll put a name, like all this address, all this shit.
It's literally like Terminator.
It's
like,
literally like it's like some fucking like Skynet shit. It's fucking nuts. So they made this app TikTok, and they got this other app called Musical.ly, which is like the one where it's like all the teenagers were dancing and shit. It was called Musical.ly at first, and so they bought Musical.ly, and it became TikTok. And in 2018, TikTok just blew up in the U.S. And the main reason for concern, the algorithm on TikTok is so like the algorithm on like YouTube and like Instagram is pretty good. You know, like it takes notice of what you watch, like kind of takes notice of what you like look up on Google and stuff. Whereas like TikTok will take everything. Like the algorithm is so invasive. It's like absolutely like retarded how much it takes.
The thing about it too is though, like that's actually a lot of power to wield, and so in a sense, it can very easily go from like them recommending you what they based on the algorithm, like what you like and watch and all that shit stuff that is similar to that, just like start showing you like whatever, and then you can start to think that you're choosing, you're liking the stuff, but no, you actually being influenced to see or look at certain things, right?
Yeah, it's
That's crazy.
If you think like the iPad babies is like concerning, like watching YouTube, like TikTok.
No, TikTok is actually worse.
Teenagers on TikTok right now are like, it's very concerning. Like people who are on TikTok are only on TikTok, and it's like they're like super hooked on it.
There's my coworker who doesn't like believe in any of like the COVID stuff is on TikTok.
Yeah, no, she's like straight up getting brainwashed.
No, and the thing about it though is like that's what I'm trying to say is like when you can't differentiate between the real and the unreal, because if your whole life is within there, and then now you see the metaverse is coming and all that, it's like
It's the allegory of the cave.
it literally is.
It's trying to become that.
Bro, you guys, no, I'm sorry. You have to watch the Matrix Resurrections so we can talk about
Yeah, I
this.
agree. I
you
wanna
don't even
we'll
have
watch it.
All right, if you
guys want, do you guys want to just have like a Matrix stream?
yeah, that would
That'd
be
be
that would be
cool.
amazing.
Like not even
Say-
like a screen tongue thing, just like a standalone stream.
No,
That's
yeah,
fine.
that would be very therapeutic.
Yeah, let's just do that because I like. But talking about like if you talk about the Matrix, you can't talk about like you have to talk about like everything,
Spoilers,
like
yeah.
not just like just the movies, but like the entire world. Like it's a movie that's
Very
that relevant. You just have to talk about like everything.
But yeah, so
Wow.
I don't even know. Let's go back to let's get to something pure and smaller.
Johnny said TikTok actually got me to believe tarot cards. That's funny. Let me go through chat before we continue. Let me just go through like the important shit.
But like my coworker, like the thing about it is like he doesn't believe in like anything like COVID related, and like he uses TikTok, but he'll like justify some of his like beliefs with like TikToks.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, and it's
Cite your sources. You know,
Cite your sources. This fucking TikTok link.
he's like 40, but he is like very like technologically
Oh,
impaired.
dude, no,
he's
he's-
40,
he's-
but like 60
He's gonna get
technologically.
so fucked.
but you know how to use TikTok. You know, it's like if
Just scroll.
yeah.
TikTok is like takes no time.
He'll
to get
take
into.
like he smokes cigarettes, so he'll take like breaks to go outside and smoke. And
He's on TikTok. Yeah.
One of the first ads when the iPads came out was the iPad. You already know how to use it, and like that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate.
funny,
like that's
yeah.
like
That's what
the.
corporations want.
But that's TikTok. You already
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's
You know how to use it.
Fuck.
it's he's like started to like be a little different too. Like I've like worked with him for like a year and a half now, I think, or yeah, not a year and a half, a little over a year. But like he's never been into COVID. He's like not since the beginning. But like he started to like show me TikToks that were like very like seemed very conservative, like almost like redneck dudes in like the country, like with like beards, like eating like cheeseburgers and shit. There was one guy where it's like they send in recommendations and he eats it, but they look like MAGA people. They look like very like straight up like generic MAGA people.
Like a character.
He starts buying some of the camo clothes in our store.
Nice.
He has a 4th
Oh
of
my
July
God.
party where like he's dressed in all camo, and he like made it known to the store that it's like no masks allowed. He got a speaker out there and they're playing like almost like cover songs of like American like rock classics.
But it's that. In
It
itself-
doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
No, it's like Bad Company being covered by like Avenged Sevenfold or something
the
like
fuck?
that.
Bro, this is not a spoiler. That's what they in the Matrix Resurrections. It ends with a cover of the Rage Against the Machine song.
Wow.
What the fuck?
It
so
ends with
fucked.
a cover. I don't know. Sorry.
The one from the
Yeah, it
That-
ends with a female singer. It's like it's a whole thing. Like it's like wait, what the fuck?
That's so weird.
Fuck. Sorry.
That had to be so fucking. Did you see that while you were high?
The
Matrix
the
Resurrections?
second time. Yeah. The
Oh my
second
God.
time. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but what happened
that's
to your coworker?
that's really
How's he doing?
crazy. No, that was.
No, but like it's fuck. I don't even.
it makes
know.
you think about shit.
And but the thing about it is like when I say that like you're watching Lana Wachowski take the blue pills, like I don't even know if she can differentiate if it's good or not. You know what I mean? It's like I'm confused.
That's one thing about
I'm
like
just- I'm-
celebrities that I don't like is like you get like famous, you get very successful, and suddenly it's like people start putting out like shit. Like there's no like there's
'Cause
just surrounded by like
they
yes
don't know what's
men.
real
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
No one will be real. say what's real.
People always fake. They ain't real.
You don't want all those people like knowing about your life and stuff too. That's got to be so weird. But
You should listen to this Kanye song. It's called "Say What's Real."
All right, but let's chat. I'm gonna go over chat real quick.
but like, so he was doing like all that really like kind of like weird conservative shit, and the whole time he's like, I'm not political, I'm not Democrat, I'm not conservative. He didn't really say anything about like the 2020 election, but like that's also when he first started like working there. He was always like against COVID, but he like seemed like he wasn't too political. But then the more like over the course of the year, he's like starts talking about abortion at work, starts talking about like just like using like conservative lingo, and now. The other day, he's like, I'm moving to Texas.
Whoa.
And like, not soon, but like, he's going to move to Texas like in a year.
Wow.
And
That's what's all right. I'm sorry that the screen tongue is
No,
becoming.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
no, it's the
It's
Matrix.
still interesting. It's still interesting.
Because I was when people talk about in a sense, I feel like everyone wants to say they're in the center for the most part. Maybe they lean a certain way, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always
They're objective.
in regards to the objective center.
Yeah.
But the thing about like what I'm sorry to see is that a lot of a majority, not say a lot, but a good portion who say they're in the center is it's not actually the center. It's the right. They say they're not political, all this stuff, but for some reason. They keep leaning into it. They keep leaning into it, and not even to say it's like from a criticism of the left side, because in a sense it's like I'm in the center. That's how I feel. Everyone kind of feels that way. But like, I don't know. It's confusing. But then I guess to bring it back to like what makes it weird too about, even though I thoroughly enjoyed Licorice Pizza. Is that like when filmmakers get older, like you just want to just recreate your childhood now, like it's a weird thing. It's like, because I definitely, but the thing is, like, at least with Tarantino, he's very very vocal about like, no, his next film's gonna be his last film, you know? But to have something like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood be the film before your last film, it's you even said it yourself, like that could be a great send off right there. Like, what's he trying to say? You know what I mean? And then you watch Licorice Pizza, where he's like pizza, where it's like, I don't even think it's like necessarily like it has to be an actual one-to-one statement of anything. But then by making these movies, it's a statement in itself. You learn more about a person, right? And theoretically, a good piece of art, you learn more about the artist, not even intentionally, And so I don't know. Oh, but to bring that to Don't Look Up, sorry,
You're good.
is that movie is like it's so it's like patting itself on the back for trying to be critical, while at the same time like basically not actually, because sorry, I was looking at this other thing too, coming out of like research from the Matrix Resurrection stuff, that was saying that like in a sense, so that's the thing where it's talking about when the moment you think that you're outside of the simulation is actually when you're the deepest in it, because you can't differentiate. But then beyond that, there was stuff about like, okay, it's one thing to actually be aware and criticize it, but that in itself isn't original, because that in itself is a reaction, and when anything is reactionary, it's not, it can't be original. It's stemming from something that already exists. So it's not enough to just criticize without presenting a solution or creating something new beyond itself. And the issue with the movie, up until how it actually ends, is that all it's doing is criticizing. And the thing about it, though, it's the guy who made Step Brothers, so it's funny. But it's literally a joke that overstays its welcome. It's a satire that loses its punch halfway through the swing. That being said, it's very entertaining, and that's where it makes me think about. It's like, and the whole movie is basically trying to criticize the idea of playing the fiddle as Rome burns. Do you guys know the premise of the movie?
Yeah. Like the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
No one believes him, kind of, at first, at least.
But it goes into this weird back and forth
Okay.
of like, you take it seriously for a second, but then it's like too much to handle, and so you start to, then you go back to just the way the word was,
Yeah.
But then it makes you think, because like in a sense, the movie, and this is not a spoiler, it's like you think about the metaphor long enough, it'll come to your head without even watching the movie. It's trying to say about climate change, right? Like everyone knows that climate change is real, you know. I'm sorry, it's but like fuck it, you know. I still drive a car that uses gas. I still, you know, eat meat all the time, you know, and like you're just that in itself feels like this like flaccid, like you gave up, right? And then that's how the movie kind of feels, where it's like it's screaming at you how much like everybody's wrong, everybody's fucked, but you and yourself making this movie, this very expensive movie that's probably using very expensive lights and all that shit, is like saying, all right, how is this helping with it either? No, you're just letting us know. But that in itself is obnoxious. You know what I mean?
And everyone in there, like, it's like a big cast.
Yeah,
like they're getting paid like.
That's what I'm saying, where it's like the strange part about it though is it's supposed to be making fun of Hollywood and politics and the news, the media and all that, but made by all of the Hollywood big swingers out there.
During COVID too, I imagine.
Bro, and that's what I was trying. Sorry, it's coming out now. I had to get it out now. Is what I was trying to also say about seeing the machine and why it doesn't matter anymore is that actually now, and that's what I beyond postmodern into like this meta modern era, if you want to call it that, is that in the postmodern era it was very refreshing at first to see stuff that was self-referential and in a sense poking fun at itself. Deadpool was the highest grossing R-rated movie, you know what I mean? Just the way that memes work is that you have to be in on the joke. Even things beyond that, in like I guess the end of the actual postmodern era, Scream was fresh because it made fun of the horror genre, right? Now in the meta modern the meta modern world, it's like, all right, now beyond criticizing stuff, it's like just doing that is actually beneficial because this is crazy too. Yesterday I watched, there's a new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And in the first episode, Larry David, he goes to Netflix to pitch a new show, and he just says whatever, and they're basically making fun of, like, you know, Netflix gives money to anybody, and they're all like, we love it, you do the show. But the thing about it is that they have the actual owner of Ted Sarandos on in the thing, you know, playing himself and all that. But then I'm sorry. You just got to see it as fast as possible, because the more the more as time goes by and you spend time, I'm going to have to talk about The Matrix Resurrections. It's not a spoiler if you... it's not necessarily... Have you... All right, so Warner Brothers is doing this weird thing right now, not even just with The Matrix, but with the new Space Jam movie too. They did the same thing, which I'm sure you guys don't care as much if I say a little thing that happened in Space Jam: A New Legacy, do you?
No, go ahead.
Is that they have LeBron go to the Warner Brothers lot to talk about, oh, we have to do this, and they name their own Warner Brothers properties in there and franchises, and how, you know, you work, but beyond movies to the NBA and all this stuff, all entertainment and all that. And in the Matrix Resurrections, they do a similar thing, in terms of making fun of Warner Brothers and saying, like, there's a fourth Matrix movie. What does that mean? And they basically trying to stay, in a sense, it's trying to stay one step ahead by presenting all the things, like we talked about, like Neil Patrick Harris is gonna be the bad guy, you know what I mean? Like, what? But all this stuff, but then like it goes and it says that, you know, it's like you in your head you think the Matrix regurgitations, and the movie they say, oh, is this just another regurgitation? You're like, all right, so what is that trying to say? But in a sense, have you seen Network?
Yeah, a while back.
Have you seen Network?
I've not, but
You know,
I know what it's about though.
We should do that one for the podcast.
That'd be a good
great
one, yeah.
Network.
Not a real. Do you know what the movie's about?
It's like the news. It's like how like the news is
About
like
media and the
bullshit.
news?
Yeah.
So there's a segment in there when like there's a very strong like Marxist news anchor like team that have very strong opinions, but then the big corporation wants them to do a segment on their 24-hour stream broadcast, but they say, no, you're gonna we'll never do that, you'll censor us and all that, you know, because they're about socialism and all that shit. And actually, no, we want you to say what you want. Like, that's actually better for us to have, because then in all in the one feed, you can get the actual stuff, but then the critical stuff. So you don't have to go somewhere else to actually get real criticism. It's criticism within its own thing. And so it's like, it actually benefits the streaming services and the companies if they have stuff that's criticizing them, because then now it seems like they're in a joke, they're cool, and, you know, you can support them and still pay for them, pay them for this shit without it. It's like Deadpool saying like, oh, are we about to do a superhero jump? Proceeding to do a superhero jump. You know, you're still doing the thing even if you say you're doing it. And then in Don't Look Up, it's like that, but on a worse condescending level, because like it in a sense it's holding itself to be so self-important, you know, that it's about a real issue, but then to also make real world references to like how the COVID pandemic has happened over the past 2 years and shit like that. There's a great line in the movie. Also, I guess just to say that Jonah Hill is my favorite part of that movie, and it made me miss Jonah Hill as an actor. You know?
Yeah.
In a sense, I'm glad he gets to like pursue his career goals and dreams of being a director and all that. But, you know, I miss you as a performer. You know, he's a great performer. But yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend you guys to watch them, but it would definitely make us all talk about it more. And we'll get to Upstream Color and Redline AI.
That's okay.
I feel like I'm hogging the mic right now. So what have you guys seen in the past like fucking 4 months?
Ooh. Let's see. Big one was Hellraiser. That was like right after the Halloween episode we did with the Exorcist and stuff. That one was crazy because I was on acid. Not only acid, but we took acid that wasn't really working, and then we smoked weed out of a bong. I took like a fat rip, and that shit like sent me. Like that shit just sent me. I was like thinking about mental illness and shit.
Did you see anything?
Not really like anything with my eyes, but like anytime I closed my eyes, my thoughts were so fucking like so all consuming that I was just forced to like imagine crazy shit. It was so nuts I couldn't talk. It was just straight up like I remember like I was sitting on the couch was over there, and I remember I was just like thinking about shit. I remember looking at, because I had a few people over and they were talking, and I was trying to listen to them talk, and I straight up, my memory was like literally like 2 seconds long. I just couldn't, like, I would start talking and my sentences sounded like absolute shit. It was just like, what? I'm just gonna have to shut up. There's like, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and not talk. It's just like, it was terrible, bro. It was like absolutely terrible. And then the shit I was thinking about was just like absolutely just like
bonkers.
Yeah, it would take me, it'd be like another podcast just to talk about all the shit I was thinking about. And then we were like, all right, because Mikey was like, earlier that night, he's like, well, let's just watch Hellraiser. So we went to the couch inside and watched Hellraiser, and that movie's really fucking good. That movie's that's like a fresh horror movie. That is like, that movie feels so fresh. It's like such a movie, dude. It's like, it's genius, man. I really love Hellraiser. It's like
directorial debut, correct?
Yeah, direct. He didn't make anything else, I think. Clyde Barker.
He made a few other things.
He made like 1 or 2, but like he mostly just like wrote like horror books and stuff.
He was a writer.
Yeah, hardcore. And this like, it takes a while to understand what the premise is, because like when you think of Hellraiser, it's like
it's very complex.
It's complex. Yeah, it's like, you know, there's like the fucking like the Pinhead guy and like these other.
You
like,
see
like,
it on the posters.
You see, and you're thinking like, oh, it's like a slasher movie. I thought it was gonna be like some like weird like slasher. And then when the premise, it takes a bit for the premise to kick in, and then once like the premise kicks in, it's just like, maybe it may have taken longer for me for like, you know, when you're high, like movies feel longer.
Yeah.
So it may have been that, but when the premise finally started kicking in and I understood what the movie was about, I was like, holy shit, this is just such a classic horror movie. Like the whole story just feels like it could be like an ancient story. It's actually really cool.
It has a point for taking a while before you get the idea, right?
A little bit, yeah. It's the build up to it is like just like, I mean, it's all about like sex, pain, pleasure. It's a crazy movie.
Is it almost like Psycho?
No, it's like,
do you know what I mean? Where it's like people thought Psycho was going to be in a different way, I guess.
Like with Psycho, it's like that was the time too where like the movies were just playing all the time. You would come in halfway through and then you would go in the next one. So you know, you don't really know what's supposed to happen. So you go and you're thinking you're seeing like this crime thriller, right? Of Janet Leigh escaping with all this money, right? And then it sits with you long enough in that sort of idea where you let your guard down because you think you know what's going to happen before it surprises you with the thing. But I feel like in Hellraiser, it's not necessarily from early on you get what this movie's gonna be, but you don't actually know what the movie is about. In terms of like tone and feeling.
Okay.
But yeah, once I don't know, there's some stuff in the movie that I didn't like, but it was very like momentary stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of shit it's like pretty in terms of like the writing of it and everything, the whole idea behind it, even the way it was edited. I mean, I guess it was high. Like the way that like one of the first shots is like a zoom, and then the movie ends on a zoom out on like a very similar shot.
Oh, okay.
So the whole movie feels like the way it's edited is like the movie keeps zooming in and like it zooms out. I don't even know how to describe it. Even like I'd have to go back and watch. I was so high. I thought I was so high. There was like some shots where there's some camera moves where like they show a shot and then they move to like another shot. But it looked like the background was like moving, like so like they'd show like a shot of like a staircase and then move, and like all the background would move, and then it would like show the shot of the staircase from a different angle. It was really cool. It was weird. I seriously need to rewatch that movie like sober. But really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that movie. It was funny. Kate was also high and we were watching it, and
She didn't like it though, right?
Yeah, the movie ended. The movie ended, and we were all like, man, what do you guys think? And Kate's like, I thought that movie was shit. I hated it. I thought the movie was terrible. And then Mikey's all like, I thought the movie was badass. I was cool, and everybody was like, yeah, the movie was cool. It was so funny. She was a little peeved about that.
Really?
Yeah, she was a little bit
man.
like, it was funny. But yeah, I really like that movie. That movie's like, I wish I could spoil the fuck out of it for you.
Will you watch the other ones?
That's what I wanted to know.
So I watched a little video on it, like explaining it. The other ones feel a little bit more like definitely like a little bit more lore intensive, but I heard that they weren't like, obviously they weren't as good.
There's a one that came out recently, like in 2020, right?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because the interesting thing about that too is like Hellraiser wasn't like it's not like a Halloween or a Nightmare on
No.
Elm Street.
I heard
but they made a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I heard like the best sequel, obviously the second one's like the best, like most what's the word, like the most appropriate sequel to the first one. And like
makes
after
sense.
like the third one is like kind of also like appropriate, and then after that, like he was explaining the other ones, they just look like slasher movies.
Oh,
like they took the characters, like they took like the like the pinhead people in like the first movie aren't really like, they're a big deal, but they aren't like huge. They're not like slasher. They're not like slasher killers at all. Like at all.
The Meta Knights.
The Meta Knights, yeah, something like that. There's a word for them. I forget already, but
Hellraiser looks creepy.
it is. It's
Fucking
dude. It's
cool.
fucking beyond
Yeah.
creepy, man. It's like seriously, it gets under your skin. It's like it creeped me the fuck out. The whole premise behind it.
It inspired Mandy in
Mhm.
terms of some stuff. Yeah.
Really?
That I can see that. It's
Fuck.
fucking. It's like some seriously like creepy shit. But the sequels, like the slasher sequels, just look like cash grabs. Like they just took like, all right, these people really like this iconic character, and they just like, we're gonna do some like fan service shit with these movies. But the first one's like phenomenal. I love the fuck
I'm
out of
gonna
that.
check out Hellraiser.
Yeah, it's like
You got me.
it's
I've always seen Pinhead, and
yeah,
like,
it's
he's like, you always think of him as like a slasher, you know, but from like what people talk about, it sounds like really like psychological,
it's
yeah,
yeah,
makes
kind of ethereal.
it's a lot of I need to check it out again. Like I want to see. Roger Ebert hated the fuck out of it apparently. Like he gave it like a 1 star. So
Okay, that's
I need to watch it again to see if like if how I feel about it, like truly, you know.
I watched V for Vendetta.
Did you really?
For the first time, or
Probably like the second time. It was one of those movies like I saw growing up,
Mm-hmm.
kind of. V for Vendetta made me think a lot about COVID.
yeah,
Because V for Vendetta has that thing in there with like the sickness
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
the government has that like kills a bunch of people. And then that was written by the Wachowskis. And it was like a graphic novel that they adapted. But
Alan Moore,
and he did Watchmen.
you same guy who did
Yeah.
Watchmen. But after what was it? Extraordinary Gentleman. He had said he'd never work with Hollywood again.
Wow.
So he never gave anybody their approval or anything.
Wow.
Or anything. But then now he's a wizard. You know, he's an actual wizard.
For real?
Yeah, like he practices magic.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but sorry, what were you gonna say?
Mm.
But yeah, the Wachowskis, they wrote it, and then their assistant director from the Matrix movies, he's the director on it, James McTeague.
Oh shit.
There's almost like some Matrix-esque stuff of like V for Vendetta too,
Mm-hmm.
with like she gets like imprisoned,
Mhm.
and then he makes her think like she's actually like about to die, and like she's reading like this letter of someone about like their life story,
Mm.
and they're a lesbian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this was like
Oh,
before.
yeah.
This was before like they became transgender.
Mhm.
And-
It's always been in all this, like even their first movies about two
It's-
lesbians.
And then it becomes revealed to her that like it was just a test of endurance so that she wouldn't give the guy up.
Mhm.
But that's almost like, I don't know, that's like a Matrix thing kind of. It makes me, oh fuck. I heard about this. I just had it in my head. If I think about it again. Oh, I heard this thing about Dostoevsky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was in John's bedroom one time. And
TMI.
I phrased it that way on purpose.
What's his bedroom like?
John has like the smallest fucking bed. This table is wider than his
Dude, John sleeps on a small bed.
and I'm like, what happens if you roll over? And he's like, I fall. So he's like, I don't roll over. But anyways, like he's like using the bathroom or something. So I was like reading this like Dostoevsky book, and it like starts off or like talking about like his biography or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I just read it. It said like he was like this prisoner of war or something, or this prisoner of some sorts, and they were sent to be executed in like the cold, and they had to wait for like several hours before they got executed. So they're standing in like the middle of like the Russian winter like wilderness, waiting to be fucking executed.
Wow.
And then however many hours they waited, like some of these guys are getting like obviously like frostbites, like
Already dying.
yeah, you know. And then basically someone comes out and says this was just a test. So all these guys fucking like had to come to terms with what their fucking lives were going to be. And then they're out here freezing in like the cold. And then someone just says like this was like a test of
Or faith or whatever, right? 'Cause,
Whatever.
Like, afterwards, you can come back and they can just ask you whatever, right? And now that you've reevaluated your life, right?
that's what like the in a way that's like what the Natalie Portman thing from V for Vendetta reminds me of. And then just how like it's all tied into like this. It's really like exaggerated. I feel it's almost like the way like some people would exaggerate like COVID as like a big conspiracy theory or something, but it makes you think about that.
No,
like,
yeah.
I mean, we've been living in it now for
2.5
how long?
almost.
And then just seeing the Matrix for the first time.
Yeah.
That's seeing the Matrix for the first time the year that the new one is released, and then hearing you guys talk about it because you've like grown up with it.
Yeah.
And then like you're going crazy about it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
In what way?
It's like very meta.
So oh god, so I used to really like that word meta, but since Facebook, I feel like corporations are taking that word over. It feels like offensive.
No, that literally is it. That's meta modern. The snake eating the tail. Where now the company is meta.
Yeah, it's
meta,
pissing me off because it's like I feel like that's such an effective word. It's such a valuable word, and now it's like I know it's going to become something.
Everyone's going to use it.
It's become something that everybody uses, and it's just gonna piss me off. And I feel like they did that for a very specific. I mean, like I remember talking to Kate about it like a year ago, and I was like, I feel like the future is just like meta. Like I was talking to her a lot about that, and it's just like now these corporations are starting to like do all this meta stuff, and just like even like Facebook is now calling themselves meta, and it's just like, and they have that fucking infinity symbol. You know what I'm talking about? And like, it's just it feels like a sabotage almost. You know?
Meta or like the meaning of meta is like eventually it's gonna get used so much that like loses its value.
Exactly.
And then people forget what it means to be self-aware, and then you won't be able to see your way out of the fucking system.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just
you can't differentiate between real and unreal.
Meta is such an important word, and the fact that corporations are going to use it to like make money and like get people even more under their spell because like everybody knows that they're going to fucking do that.
You already know you're going to Halloween ends. You don't even have to worry about what happens in Halloween Kills.
So it's just I don't know. There's a lot to be pissed off about. You know, it's just
that's so crazy.
But anyways, yeah, V for Vendetta.
Oh yeah. So, what did you?
It's like V for Vendetta is cool. You know, I watched it. I was entertained. I think Hugo Weaving, he plays V. Hugo Weaving's like Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. He's pretty cool. there's like some shit about it that's like, I remember I watched it for a little bit while I was high, and then like I fell asleep like halfway through, and then I like rewatched it, and I don't think I was high. There was like some stuff about it that was like really extravagant that was like, I could see how that could like really be scary. Like there's a scene at the beginning where they blow up like some sort of government building.
Yeah.
And like he's playing this music, and like when I watched it sober, I felt like, okay, it's just kind of like, it's almost like a Family Guy type of thing where it's like a reaction shot of like a guy looking at like a CG explosion and he's kind of like dancing to it, but it's almost supposed to be funny. But when I was high, and maybe, I don't know,
yeah.
but like when I was high, it was like actually scary because it almost like made me think, because this is also like post 9/11, almost of like, that's like what like Al Qaeda was doing when like 9/11 was happening almost. And then that's like really fucking crazy because this guy like believes like so passionately in this. But like from an outsider's point of view, like Natalie Portman's point of view, you're like, what the fuck? That would be so fucking crazy to see because like, you know, he's smart, but he's like so crazy to the point that he's going to like commit these like heinous acts of terrorism.
He's gonna use his God-given gifts or whatever you want to call it, you know, his genius to something that's like,
it's so scary, you know, and
crazy.
Oh, and then just like John Hurt's character, there's like a lot of scenes where there's like this big ass fucking screen, and there's just like this weird, like kind of like luminal space like background. That's what it reminds me of. You know how it's like not supposed to be weird, but it makes you feel weird, and it's just like the background's nothing special, but like he's there talking and his face is huge, and like when you really think about that, that's like, it reminds me of like what 1984 feels like, or almost like a Pink Floyd type of thing.
Did you read Brave New World in?
I did. I don't remember too much about it, but isn't there like a thing with like Soma, the drug?
Everyone talks about 19. Have you read Brave New World?
No, I read the first chapter when I was like 14, but it wasn't like required for school. It was like literally just an extra thing. But I know what the premise is.
The first chapter would actually be good to like just revisit it because it feels like it's written like a screenplay. Like it changes scenes like in the middle of the page, and it's just structured like you can see the cuts happening.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I always liked Brave New World more than 1984 is because in Brave New World, they, instead of like a big brother thing that's like oppressing things and having control, it's like actually like the world at large is like complicit in it and is willing to just give up control for things like the Soma and like just entertainment and pleasure because
dopamine rush.
Yeah.
We read it for AP Lang, and unfortunately I didn't really read it too much, but I remember how it ends, and I don't think you guys listen to the Smashing Pumpkins, but
the world is
they have a song called Soma, and the song comes from the book. And then, did you talk about how Aldous Huxley wrote The Doors of Perception?
We've talked about it. Yeah.
Okay. That's just interesting too.
Yeah, he was really into psychedelics. Aldous Huxley.
And he wrote like Brave New World, I think like 2 or 3 years after Doors of Perception.
When he died, he was injected with like 8 grams of mescaline.
Right
before he on his deathbed.
Crazy.
Good for him. That sounds like fun.
That'd be insane.
It's interesting because after he started taking psychedelics, he wrote this book. I haven't read it. I want to read it. It's called The Island, which is like also like a in the near future like Brave New World, but instead of it being like a dystopian world, it's like his version of a utopia that it's like post psychedelics view of the world, like that he writes from. But
that's like what a Matrix is like too. There's like a before and after with psychedelics.
Yeah. That's
and then it's a red pill and a blue pill.
We'll do the Matrix episode soon. But I guess what's interesting about V for Vendetta, or because like James McTeague, the director, I saw another movie he made, and I think it was like 2017 or 18. It's like a home invasion film with Halle Berry, I think, or like an actress like that.
Breaking In.
Oh yeah, it's not Halle Berry. It's the girl from the enemy girl from Bring It On, the cheerleader movie.
Oh, okay.
Gabrielle Union.
Is it breaking in?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, God.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
I saw it too, but that's from the same director.
Really?
As V for Vendetta.
Oh my God.
And then people always say there's rumors that like the Wachowskis ghost directed V for Vendetta and stuff like that. But
What
then
the
by their
fuck?
own accord, they said like no, they're the ones that got James McTeague the job because they didn't want to direct. They wanted to take a break after doing
Yeah.
The Matrix, but they written the script. I don't know. Alan Moore's cool. I don't know if you guys.
No, he's
like
he's
it.
badass. Yeah.
The idea for Watchmen is pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Let me go over the chat a little bit. There's some stuff about the TikTok stuff we were talking about earlier.
I'm sorry, we were supposed to go over the chat a long
Yeah,
time
yeah,
ago.
we were. I
Forgive me.
kept forgetting too. Let me see. Angel said, "I remember hearing about how invasive TikTok was when it got banned temporarily. Do you guys think people just do not care about that info being on there anymore?" Johnny said, "I've noticed my coworkers that use TikTok are actually surprisingly all retarded." Brandon said, "TikTok and Valorant, which is a video game, both have Chinese data mining scandals, but people don't care because it's likely we're always getting data mined anyways. They're also addicted to it. He's in a surprise." Blah, blah, blah. Waffen Theater said he's... Where the fuck did that go? He's in for a surprise if he moves to Texas. It's a shithole. Conservative equals... All right. Lymphow funny.
Oh yeah,
equals
he was telling me
conservative
something. My
equals
coworker was
lymphow
also
funny.
telling me some weird shit about how like renting a house. There's like places in Texas where you can rent a house for like $600 a month.
That's a great deal.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That sounds too good to be true.
It is probably. He's gonna go there and he's.
This is
not
gonna be like
find
some
it.
fucking Grapes of Wrath shit,
Bro, that's,
where it's like they go and they think they're gonna like pick oranges and
they were
shit.
Promised the promised land was a
Oh
lie.
my God! I hope that doesn't happen to him. Like
He should. That's scary.
he's
scary.
going to move out there in like October, and
That's-
like I mean, he's told me some pretty
He's
like
pulling
intense.
he's pulling a Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan moved out
everyone's-
to
Ben
Texas.
Shapiro did it.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
They're gonna move out. People. I mean he's in Vegas.
Joe Rogan's like hella conservative now.
He's
I mean,
I haven't.
But he's the one that claims to be in the center.
Yeah.
But
He's I haven't been tuning to Joe Rogan in a little bit now. I did like just this past week I went back to rewatch the first Joe Rogan episode I watched, and also the episode that wanted me to start a podcast, which is the episode with Eddie Bravo, Alex Jones, and Joe Rogan. I was watching. I fucking love that episode. It's like peak Joe Rogan. It's seriously like peak Joe Rogan, peak like YouTube podcast. It's like seriously cool shit. Alex Jones is crazy, but like some of the shit he says, like what's crazy about Alex Jones is like he says crazy shit, but it's also just like he says some shit that's true, but it's like the way he phrases shit sounds so crazy. Like he'll describe like scientists as like wizards sometimes. So it's like he just sounds like a crazy person.
you
But it's
seen
like
this thing where his interpretation of God and like he's like looking for his own creator, but he's like
Yeah,
a shooting
yeah.
star.
I love hearing him talk about that because like some of the stuff he says and like talks about is like consistent with other things.
It's like he himself he can't differentiate between the real and unreal or whatever. But like the thing is like he is able to see patterns and actually pinpoint things. He's just like it's not always directed in the correct way.
Exactly. It's just like yeah, it's not no. He's like similar to like Sam Hyde and how he can't like market himself anymore. Like the media just like demonizes the fuck out of him.
That's so crazy that he actually in a sense is like got banned from everything.
It's fucking it's
What
nuts.
the fuck?
He's like this Sandy Hook stuff. I'm not gonna say it too much.
Yeah.
But like he went back on it. Like he's like I apologize in every way.
He got lost in the sauce.
He got lost in the sauce. Yeah, I don't know why
he
fucking
thought
said
it
that.
was fake, right?
He thought so. What happened was he was getting a lot of messages from like his viewers saying like, "Oh, it's like fake, it's a hoax. Look into it." And he just like up and said it, like just like kind of trusting what his viewers were saying, and like obviously got like huge backlash. The second he said that, like ever since he's just like he can't do anything now. Like he's banned off YouTube.
Wow.
Every like news article on him now is all about the Sandy Hook stuff. Like he's known as like the Sandy Hook guy now. But like even like on that episode, it starts out because I didn't really watch the beginning much, but like I rewatched it, and at the beginning it's like 20 minutes about him like how he didn't mean it. It's also like Joe Rogan like pinpointing him, like trying to like leash him in, like just to like, talk about this for a little bit. and like he's just trying to clear his name because like he's like, I don't think it's a hoax anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So all this stuff, but hearing him talk about like society and like like the deep state shit. He was saying this stuff in like 2019, and like 2-3 years later, the way our society's going, just the way everything's going with pandemic and stuff. It's interesting how like ahead of the time it was. It's interesting. It's just
it really
interesting.
was like, but that's why the waking life discussion would be interesting.
That's
to
why
see
I'm
if,
excited to talk about that one. But I forget where I was going with that. But
Alex Jones came from something.
we were talking about something before that. YouTube.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Oh yeah, so Joe Rogan.
Conservative, moving to Texas. What's going on in the chat?
All right, chat. Yes, sir.
There you go.
$600 house has to have. That's pretty much all the major messages.
Oh my gosh.
Brandon said, yes, Space Jam with the God King actor Don Cheadle. Yes, I don't care to have that spoiled. I'm never watching. And talk a little bit about video games and stuff. But yeah, all right. So let's. We're already 2.5 hours into this.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's been fun.
I watched the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy.
Nice.
That was actually a pleasant revisit. The effects in there are great, and they shot 2 and 3 back to back with no script. And that's already hard enough to do. But then they were on in the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly practical effects.
The fact that they pulled that off is.
And I listened to the Roger Deakins podcast, and they had an interview with the assistant director from them, and he was just saying stories like there's this one island that was only above sea level for like 6 hours of the day.
I remember you talking about this, yeah.
And then the rest of it was under, so they would have to wait with all the equipment.
Wow.
And right as the island rose, they would have to rush out there and set up all the lights and cameras and all that shit. And then the special, like, like Davy Jones and all that shit, it looks amazing. It still looks, it looks great. And the thing is, what's interesting about it too is that like, it feels like, even though like those are the movies we grew up in, like, so it looked modern at the time, like, in a sense, it's interesting to see them. They look dated now, but not in a sense they look old, like when you watch an 80s movie or something like that, or even an older movie. But they don't look like movies that come out now, which makes it look like of its own time and place.
That's interesting.
And it's like something like watching it this time. It's like I never you see like they probably won't ever make stuff like this again. You know,
the CGI now is very like.
In a sense, you don't even. Sorry.
The same, you
don't even talk about special effects now because you just assume that they're going to be good or like, it's all just the same really. Right. What else? I watched Ghost World. I don't know if you guys.
Dude, I watched Ghost World too.
Bro, I really liked it.
Like,
I really enjoyed it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Have you seen Ghost World?
No. What's it about?
It's in the Criterion Collection. It's with young Scarlett Johansson. She's like 18 or whatever. But it's about these 2 teenage girls who just graduate high school, and all I say is that one of them befriends a character played by Steve Buscemi. But you should check it out.
It's
it's funny. I've heard
it's pretty funny.
It's from the guy who directed Bad Santa, but I like, and it's based on a comic book, like a graphic novel.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was so cool.
I didn't enjoy that movie as much as I thought I would. I was going into it more of like the Daria angle. Like, I was expecting a lot more like monotone, but like they're pretty like they have inflection and stuff. Like they're more like normal teenage girls. There's some aspects of the movie that I did like. I
mean, Enid was pretty annoying, but besides that, like it was just it was just nice to see a movie that was just like I don't want to say like Jarmusch-esque, but like it was like
a little bit. Yeah, I can see that.
Like no real drama or action. It's just like it's almost like a hangout movie, but with more of like a driving narrative than like an actual hangout movie. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
That's one thing I thought about the movie is I was just like, man, I'm a lot more interested by the side characters than the main character. I was just like, all these side characters are pretty cool, but I wasn't too interested in like what the main characters were doing.
True.
What else did you guys watch?
Have to check that out. I watched The Graduate.
Nice.
The Graduate was cool. First time I've seen it all the way through. I'd seen the ending.
Cool.
I'd seen the ending before, but like.
How'd you like? I really like that movie.
Yeah, it's great.
The Graduate's cool. I watched it and I told my parents like I wish I saw this in high school. Kind of. It's a good like. I feel like that's a good movie to show like seniors in high school.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That'd
that's
be
what I
like
saw.
right before.
That's- I
Did
saw-
you watch it like right before school ended?
Yeah,
I saw it when I was either a junior or senior.
It's like a good like young person's movie kind
Yeah.
of too. But like it also holds up too. I imagine.
Yeah, it's very like. It's just very angsty, you know.
Yeah. But it's cool.
but great
Mhm.
craft
It's cool.
too.
Yeah.
Like just like the edits and like the montage of like him jumping onto the floaty, and then it's onto her in the
Yeah.
bed, you know. And then just like shooting him running with the telephoto lens, but it's like sprinting, but it doesn't. It's like for in a sense that he doesn't even change in the size of the frame, so
Mhm.
it's like it's futile what he's doing. It feels like just
Mhm.
through the frame. So just great visual storytelling.
What'd you think of the ending?
That
So it's like a-
I'd like had the idea of it before,
Mhm.
but I guess like knowing everything that happened before it, I thought like at first like the daughter was gonna have like a bigger like part towards the beginning,
Mhm.
but she kind of comes like more towards the middle.
Mhm.
Like he really just has like an affair with her mom
Mhm.
Yeah.
the whole time, and then like he's like just like kind of fucked because like he kind of like has his own mixed feelings about it, but like once she decides what it's gonna be, like
Mhm.
he doesn't have much he can do. So like you really feel like dang, he's in a cramp, you know. And then it just like as it goes along, like I knew it was supposed to happen. I'm like, he just really does not recover
Mhm.
from this. It's like kind of like a downward spiral, and it's not really like his fault either, but like he's trying to make the best of it and like do something interesting with his life. And then it's cool how he does it. That'd be pretty. Like imagine being at a wedding and seeing some shit like that.
That'd be fucking crazy.
And then the girl actually leaves with
He gets
him.
the fucking cross and like fucking like.
It is interesting though that like, because I've always thought that's even when you said it, like, yeah, it's a great movie for high school seniors, but like him in the movie, he's the graduate, but he's the college graduate,
Mhm.
right? He
Yeah.
graduates
Yeah.
undergrad school, and the whole movie is about the crux of like, what's he gonna do for grad school, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which is like such a boomer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even as like fresh or rebellious as it feels, it's always it's antiquated in a
Mhm.
sense, you know, in that way. But great film.
It's
It's funny too. It's very
Oh
funny.
yeah, I fucking did that movie.
Have you seen other Mike Nichols films?
I've only seen Closer with Nat. That was like one of his last ones with Natalie Portman, Jude Law. That one's interesting. There's a really funny scene in there between like Jude Law and Clive Owen
Really?
that like essentially happens over something that's like Omegle. I would check it. Natalie Portman's really cool in it too, and Julia Roberts is in it.
Okay.
It's based on a play, I think.
Mm.
It's like a romantic drama type of thing. That was pretty good though.
Mhm.
I remember really liking the visuals in The Graduate.
Yeah, The Graduates. I really like the Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah,
Soundtrack,
yeah, it's
fucking-
really
When the Mrs. Robinson song kicks in, I was just like, I remember watching that for the first time. And I felt just like
that
so.
song's so fucking.
It's just like
cool.
the way they do that in that movie is just like, oh, and then that shot, like they time it with the music where he like comes out of the tunnel and just like goes onto the bridge. Just like,
Yeah.
as just like he's really gonna get this girl. Like he's really gonna get this girl.
The opening in the movie too.
Opening, yeah.
Just
Mhm.
being in the airport.
the escalator.
Mhm.
It's like an escalator kind
the
of.
fucking
Yeah.
the lazy thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And you just see that, and it's like it's like a tracking shot, but he's still in the shot. You know,
Mhm.
like that's like the
Yeah.
perfect metaphor of him. He's like his life is supposed to be moving forward, but he's stuck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
He's moving like
ah,
right to
man.
left as well, right?
Yeah, there's
Mhm.
some. It really is just it's a clever movie.
Mhm.
But yeah, I gotta check out more Mike Nichols stuff
Mhm.
myself. I've only seen The Birdcage and I haven't even-
He made the Birdcage.
yeah, he made The Birdcage
with Robin Williams.
Yeah, with Robin
Oh
Williams.
my god,
Robin Williams
He
is
made
like gay in
movie?
that
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
right?
that movie's so gay, dude.
yeah. And then I haven't seen Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So
Mhm.
He
that's-
won like an award for that, I think.
That was his first movie.
Yeah.
But he was also really involved in the theater, so yeah, that's why he did a lot of play adaptations and stuff too.
What other movies? I saw Come On, Come On,
Oh yeah, how?
Oh.
black and white. I don't want to say too much on it. It was like it's just I think I talked to one of you two about it. I think it was maybe
Yeah.
it was obviously it's me like pretty like wholesome. It's just like a very wholesome movie, but like still a little bit like not it felt we watched it with Elwood and Jalen. Jalen, when we talked to her about it, she said it felt disingenuine, and it was like that's kind of how it feels. It feels like there's something about like those like Gen X movies right now that just aren't feeling like really authentic. You know, like it feels just like it's like Joaquin Phoenix and a child actor. You know,
It's an interesting role for Joaquin Phoenix, especially after Joker.
especially after Joker. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
He's like it's like it feels like he's trying to like palate cleanse almost.
No, I feel like he's always doing stuff that goes back and forth
Yeah.
between. But it to me, my thing about like I love Joaquin Phoenix, but it always oscillates between like these two separate things.
Mhm.
Like either it's very intense or it feels like kind of soft.
Mhm.
But man, I'm excited for you to watch The Master.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, come on. I don't know. I wouldn't watch it again.
okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of. There's other movies that do what they're trying to do there that I think are better. I guess I guess it's like more modern, you know, with like or post meta modern with like the iPhones and stuff. Takes place in like New York and LA, so it's like there's a few shots that remind me a lot of Manhattan, just because like black and white and like New York shots. So, but it's also like a movie that also has like LA shots that are in black and white. So it's got some interesting stuff going for it. They do a lot of stuff with like Joaquin Phoenix is like this dude interviewing kids, so it's got like this documentary-esque aspect to it where like they're asking like it seems like they're asking real kids these questions about like life and shit and adults. So it's got that documentary-esque that thing, and he carries on like this boom mic, and the kid plays the boom mic and shit. And so there's some stuff like that.
He was in a movie with Rooney Mara called like Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, where he plays Jesus.
Is that movie good?
I haven't seen it, but
I'm curious about it.
that's what I'm saying. Whereas like he I think it came out in the same year or the year before Joker came out too.
Is that like one of the softer roles or like the intense?
He's
ones?
Jesus.
That sounds intense.
No, it's like it's pretty soft because he's not even.
Is it really?
He's not the main character.
Oh,
it's
okay,
about
okay.
Mary Magdalene.
He like in the last 10 years though, like he's done some. He did The Master, Inherent Vice, Her.
Mm-hmm.
You Were Never Really Here.
Yep.
Joker. I haven't seen it, but you won't get too far on foot.
Yeah.
Looks like he'd be good in that.
It's actually pretty good. Gus Van Sant. So yeah, it's like
He is like in like some pretty cool movies, you know. I really like him in Her. He kind of like he's a character in that movie, you know. You don't see Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah.
But, like,
you don't
you
see Joaquin
You
Phoenix.
see Spike Jones.
Yeah.
I watched The Power of the Dog. I don't know if you guys
I've
heard
never
of it.
heard of that. What is
It's on Netflix.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
is in
Benedict
it.
Oh, boy.
Cumberbatch is in it. But
People say it's good.
it was
though.
getting really good reviews. Like everyone was saying it was good, so I checked it out with my dad when I was in California. I don't know.
It looks boring. That's the only thing.
They say that like this is Jane Campion, and I've heard her name before, but I haven't seen any of her films. But they say it's like her most accessible film, which can only make me think what her other films are like.
So okay, no, she's the only woman to win the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
She won it for this movie called The Piano, and there's a girl in The Piano. Oh, what the fuck's her name?
Besides now Julia DeCurnow, right?
Oh yeah, I get. She was the first one to do it, I
Yeah.
guess. Like whoever this actress was, she won an Academy Award, and she's like the youngest girl to win an Academy Award. But it's like this actress who kind of went on to have like not star in like great movies. I'll find her name real fast, but
the movie it takes place like in the early 1900s, like I wouldn't say like the 1920s maybe, but in the West. So it's actually an interesting time period because like you think about the West and it's like you always think of it being like lawless, like not really civilized and dirty. But now in like this, it's like it. I think it's always a rich and prime place to set a story in a changing time. Whether it be like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being in the late 60s or you know something where it's just like, and then you get interesting characters and you put them in this and then Like they said, the story writes itself, right? And so it takes place in the West, but in this time we're now like in the West on this ranch, like they have a toilet, you know, and a sink. But the movie is it's a slow burn, but it's one of those movies where like it's you literally, it doesn't make sense until the last shot, and then the last shot kind of ties everything together and kind of recontextualizes the whole movie. And I respect and I appreciate it, but like I guess I wasn't entertained by the movie, and it's another thing, like do movies have to be entertaining? Like theoretically, theoretically,
oh man, that's a big question.
Theoretically, they don't have to be, but you get a little like it's like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like that was really fucking boring. Like that was good.
Horse twink. Yeah.
You know, like
Tranquilizer.
and so I don't know, but yeah, it definitely was thought provoking after the fact, but not during it. And sometimes, and that's part of it too, where it's like me just even talking and what it fulfills its goal way more than just watching it and turning it off, right? But I watched the assassination of Jesse James.
Oh, that looks cool.
Have you guys seen that one? It's directed by what's his name?
Andrew Dominic.
Andrew Dominic. Have you guys seen Killing Them Softly?
No. I don't think I've seen any of his movies.
Check out Killing Them Softly.
That one's cool.
It's
Okay.
like it's one of those movies where it's like it takes place in like a pivotal period of a history, a recent history, but then you just get interesting characters. But then that movie is just, it'd be a great one to do on the podcast. But in this one, cinematography by Roger Deakins. It came out in 2007, which was an interesting year. Same year of There Will Be Blood, and
not Zodiac.
no, I think
No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men. And so, but all these movies that felt like filmmakers on the top of their game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this movie, to me, I never seen it, but I always wanted to see it. And I love Brad Pitt, you know, as an actor and all that. But I guess maybe I built it up too much in my head to what it was, where it was a good movie, but I guess I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. Kind of like Ghost World. And it looks amazing, and it's a great story, but it's also like it's pretty long. It's like over 2.5 hours, and it's one of those things where it's like not until like the last act or like the last 30 minutes really is like where the movie really to me became interesting and like what it was trying to say. It's I definitely like have a lot of respect for Andrew Dominic and what he was trying to do in his approach to the film. Yeah, he has a new movie coming out this year, I believe. It's the Marilyn Monroe biopic.
Shit. Okay.
That'll be.
But it's going to be played by Anna de Armas. Remember the girlfriend from Blade Runner 2049?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yo, what?
So she's like Cuban or something. So
okay.
But she's playing Marilyn Monroe. So I'm
She was in the new James Bond movie.
Yeah, she's in the new James
But
Bond
is like
movie.
she actually like in the movie for a long time, or is like she in like a few scenes
in James Bond?
in the new James Bond movie?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I want to. Because I like Kerry Fukunaga.
Because there were a bunch of like Instagram pages that kept posting like this like picture of her.
She's on
at the bar.
She's one of the posters like for the
Yeah.
promotion for the movie, you know.
And then it's like I looked up her name and like at least in the cast it's like she's billed like way down in
Yeah.
it. So she was in Knives Out.
Yeah, she's in Knives
She's
Out.
the vomit girl.
But yeah, Brad Pitt. And that was one of the first movies that from his production company, Plan B. He has his own. They also
It's
produce.
called Plan B.
Yeah. It's called-
Yeah. It's funny.
I rewatched The Godfather Part 2. with my
Nice.
dad.
Oh fuck.
Amazing film. Oh, I watched The Last Duel. Ridley Scott. The Ridley Scott movie that came out last year, and it's actually really good.
Yeah?
I was pleasantly surprised by that movie. It's like Rashomon, but in medieval times.
Nice.
But through like the it's an interesting movie. everyone, the Ridley Scott film everyone talked about in 2021 was House of Gucci, but it should have been The Last Duel. Interesting too that it was written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They wrote the movie, and
Really?
and they're both in the movie too.
What the fuck? That's weird.
And Adam Driver's in the movie too, and I forget the name of the actress, but she's also in the show Killing Eve, and she's really good there too. But it was a great film, everything about it was cool. For Thanksgiving or in November, I rewatched Mandy.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
So that's just that's in my top 5, to be honest. You know, I
movies of all time.
Yeah, like
Damn.
I guess I would say my personal list of like the most influential movies.
Okay, yeah.
I guess
feel that. I feel the same way about the movie.
I'd have to make 2 different lists for the top movies of all time versus my personal favorites. You know what I mean? Like if I'm making like the AFI list or something, you know.
Your personal favorites is like, I watched this movie's garbage, but they did some like cool shit in
this
there,
movie,
you know?
like it's a time and place thing. This movie like change. Some movies change the way you feel about movies, or like once you start making stuff, like it's like one of the first movies that comes to your mind, like, oh, you like it's like your Bible or something. It's like your true north. This is what a good movie is. Like when they say that like Orson Welles watched Stagecoach every day while making Citizen Kane, to say like this is a movie he really admired, you know. That's what your standard is, you know.
That's cool.
I guess that's what Mandy kind of is to me in terms of like,
dude, Mandy's like yeah, Mandy's fucking
sick.
insane, man. Mandy's like,
I want to watch, because you guys were talking about Hellraiser and then Mandy.
Yeah,
oh, that'd be
a cool
that'd be
double
fucking
feature.
that'd be sick.
yeah.
Mandy's like, I think Mandy's so cool because it's like, it's a movie, but it's like pushing, you know, it's like pushing what, like how to structure movies,
How to tell a story.
how to tell a story, yeah, how to tell a story, how a movie should look, you know. Really, really, that movie, like,
how
I dig
Nick
the fuck out of
Cage
it.
should be in a
How
movie.
Nick Cage should be, how to yield Nick Cage. you know?
Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it. How do you yield Nick
Yeah.
Cage, you know?
It looks so good.
Have you guys seen the trailer for The Unbearable Weight of Massive
Yeah.
Talent?
Yeah.
It's like being John Malkovich but for Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, what the
It looks
fuck?
like
Who directed
the
it?
movie looks pretty like,
I don't know, somebody.
it looks pretty blockbustery
Yeah,
for like
the
a Nick
thing
Cage movie.
it seems like it has a decent budget and other like famous actors, or not famous, but you know, like whatever.
There's another meta movie.
Yeah, but he's playing him. You know what the movie's about?
No,
He's-
I haven't heard of it.
He's playing himself, but he gets hired to do a job where he gets to show up to like his biggest fan's house, and I don't know, shit happens. But like, it's just in the trailer you can tell that like I felt like I wish they yielded him better in this movie.
Brandon said in the chat, here's a pretty cool movie I can recommend, Amadeus. Amadeus is pretty cool. I showed Kate Amadeus recently.
You really like Amadeus.
I do. We watched the director's cut. I would just watch the theatrical cut.
Okay.
Director's cut's a little bit too long.
Okay.
Are you a Milos Forman fan?
Did he direct that movie?
Yeah. He also did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I don't think I've seen much of his movies.
But he's mostly, or he also was very influential in the Czechoslovak new wave in the '60s. Which I want to check out more of their stuff.
He's kind of old.
Yeah, he passed away a few years ago. But yeah, he's old. But yeah, I guess everyone knows the French New Wave, but it seems like there's a lot of different the Iranian New Wave, the Czechoslovak New Wave that I'm trying to get into. So I'll give
So
you
much to get into.
There's way too much.
He did a movie on Andy Kaufman.
Yeah,
Did he really?
Man on the
Yeah.
Moon with Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
Andy Kaufman's interesting.
Yeah, he's
He's
really
really
interesting.
fucking
Yeah.
cool.
All right, last movie I'm gonna say. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all good.
I watched Schizopolis twice.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah. Don't spoil. I still haven't
I'm not
seen
gonna say
that.
anything about it besides
I need to
I think I love that
fucking see
movie.
that.
Like it's like love at first sight. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
as I was watching the movie, I'm like, wow, this movie's amazing.
Man,
Like, and it's very rare that like that happens. You know, after you've
Mhm.
seen so many movies,
Mhm.
it's hard to just fall in love with the movie.
Mhm.
And I'm like, damn. And then I listened to the director's commentary, and it's like, this is the perfect director's commentary to a
Mhm.
movie I've ever
Wow.
I've ever listened to. And the movie's just like oh man, it just gave me sometimes you watch stuff that like just reinvigorates
Mhm.
you, and like you I saw something that's like I didn't in a sense, not necessarily that a movie could be like this, but like, yeah, it's like, oh wow, I've never seen a movie like this. On top of that, it's like, but so then you gotta divide it, because there's also a barrier between, like, it's impressive just to see something you've never seen before, but then to see something you've never seen before that actually works is actually hard to do. You know what I mean? And it worked for me. So that movie was cool. Wait, well, you should watch it. Watch that and Matrix Resurrections next.
Yeah.
All right. And what do you guys see?
Let me think.
I watched It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's probably one of my, I feel like, personal favorites movies, because my mom and I used to always watch it, and I never really liked it too much. And then it like started to grow on me a little bit, and then it's like, I don't know, it's like a really relatable movie. So, I think everyone can like.
You watched the black and white version?
Yes.
Classic.
Everyone has like some George Bailey in them.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cool story.
What do you see, Norby?
I'm trying to remember some more stuff, because I watched a pretty decent amount in that time, but I didn't fucking write it down.
Letterboxd.
Yeah, for real. I don't want to say Spider-Man, fucking, but I did watch that movie.
Spider-Man. It's literal fan fiction. Yeah, like
yeah.
It's like it's not even like a thing where it's like fan service. It's fan fiction. Like like before. If this movie didn't exist and like I had seen some fan fiction, but it was the actual like script of this movie, it'd be like, oh, this is acceptable fan fiction. But for it to actually be like one of the highest grossing movies ever, like it actually is a real thing. It's like that's where it's like also like it's a strange thing, but I get it, because like I can't be too mad, because like in a sense the French New Wave was just fan fiction, right? Like they just grew up watching movies, and like you know, all the movies are just references to just movies and film at large, but in a more intellectual way, it feels like. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say, Elijah?
How the fuck do they like justify the whole like getting like the old Spider-Mans into this
fan fiction?
It's
like,
it's just fan. It's just like it's like this big Spider-Man jerk off session.
That's so stupid.
It actually is a circle jerk.
Yeah, it's
like,
a circle jerk,
like,
but it's.
But in a sense, a satisfying one. Like
yeah, it is like, I hated to admit, but it was like very entertaining. And like having like grew up with Spider-Man, I was like, oh yeah, if I was a nerd, I'd be jizzing my pants right now. Like everybody in the theater was jizzing their pants.
The theater was clapping and cheering.
Yeah, it was nuts. The theater was actually just like orgasming like every 10 minutes.
I saw it twice. I saw it on opening night, like Thursday night, and then I saw it in California like around Christmas time. And yeah, the second time, I mean, I was really high, but like it was one of those things where it's like I almost started crying because I felt like a kid, because like I
remember the first time
the nostalgia pill like fucking like it hit my brain actually. You know, like it was.
Wasn't there a scene where they used some of the old Spider-Man music?
I think every time they cut between the different ones swinging, they kind of changed the theme a little bit.
Yeah, the old Spider-Man music gets me, man.
I saw an Instagram post the other day about like the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans. It was like just about like the transitions, and it was like they were really cool movies.
They were unique.
Man, we gotta watch those.
I haven't watched them like all the way through since I've been like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But like, so I don't really remember a whole lot about like. I remember the way they made me feel. Yeah, not so much about like the way they looked and stuff, but they made you feel fucking cool. When you were a kid.
I have so many memories of the
so
Spider-Man
fucking
movies.
Cool.
The music, the music was just like hit so hard.
Do you remember do you remember that song? I think it's called My Hero.
The Nickelback one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nickelback did the official song for Spider-Man 2. It was the credit song.
Oh,
you know how like Travis Scott did the Tenet song? Nickelback did the Spider-Man 2 song.
But like I always thought it was cool.
You know, it's funny listening to us talk about it though, because like I can get though, like that's like the second time I saw it, I can understand how like also too if you grew up like on the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. But like you know, obviously it's like that almost like Gen X thing where you hear about these other Spider-Man stuff because they make a Spider-Man movie literally every 2 to 3 years, right? That like I can get how amazing and profound and entertaining that could be, but in a sense, it's like it's almost like it also lives, in my opinion, in the shadow of like Avengers Endgame. Like all of these like new Marvels, like just content shows and TV and movies, is where it's like, all right, so you had something that like even that in itself wasn't that good. Like in terms of, you actually think about, you guys seen Endgame?
No.
Good for you.
This
It's
is-
okay if you say anything about
I think
it.
I told you this.
I need
this,
to pee really fast.
I go for it.
I gotta be home by 2.
Oh my god. We should do another cat. This is
Wow.
fun. We have another
I'm
catch-up
sorry,
episode.
but this has been actually like really cool
Yeah,
just
this is
talking.
good, yeah.
It's been like a mix kind of.
Fucking episode 24 is just cursed.
It's okay.
We'll do. So I'll do an episode 24.6.
7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
10.5. Yeah. And then if we go overboard in that one, like I don't know.
I don't think it's
24.99.
I think it's been a good conversation.
Yeah, I still enjoyed this one.
Felt good just to
Yeah.
to say this stuff.
We just haven't been hanging out as much recently. So
Yeah, true.
It's been a weird break.
yeah, it's been a weird break.
But it's just like just because Avengers Endgame exists, you can't repeat that. You can't recapture that.
No.
And trying to do it again with this, and even though you can make the same or a close amount of money, it's like there's only so many times before it's just like it's gonna get old to everybody.
Yeah, so that's actually I was about to ask you like that leads perfectly in what I was gonna ask you. When do you? Because a lot of people will compare like the superhero movies right now to like westerns, right? And
Yes,
like fucking
yeah.
like and like slasher movies, right? Like the genre comes and it dies, and it seems like the superhero movies have been around for like quite a bit now. How much longer do you think they have? Like, what's the lifespan on that? You think it feels like they're?
I
Like,
think
they're kind of on their way out. I think.
no, yeah, because they're just I think self-admittedly in this like weird failing like decline, right? The thing that I think about it is that it's just I wouldn't know if I'd be able to say if I could give it like an expiration date.
Mhm.
But like it makes me think beyond the genre's expiration date to like what people will be willing to go to the movies to see,
Mhm.
you know, especially with streaming and stuff now, because like that's without something that's like actually like of mass appeal like that. It's like when everything does become inevitably niched, like how it's going, it's like I just wonder what the next thing would be then, right?
Yeah.
To take over from it. And then I try to think of like, because yeah, I think about it all the time, like is it gonna be like the Western and all that? And what like so the Westerns I would say is like from the 30s to the 60s. And by the 60s it was almost in itself, it reached its sort of like end game peak with like spaghetti westerns, Leone and all this, where it's like it's like the most you can do with this popcorn entertainment, you know.
Yeah.
The thing about it though is like I haven't really gotten. Are you a Western fan? Getting into Western?
I'm not like I'm not big on like old westerns.
Yeah.
I haven't like delved too much into them.
Yeah.
They seem like
John Ford movies.
Yeah,
and
like
shit like that.
like you know, like I remember as a kid, like you mostly hear about like spaghetti westerns, like not like the classic westerns.
Exactly.
Like, those look badass, right? But
Exactly.
it's like I went and actually looked at westerns. I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah, it's very quaint. And I feel like after that though, you get into like all these like new waves and like new Hollywood and all that, right? And so the optimist in me thinks that like hopefully this means that post the fall of the superhero genre, it'll go into some little resurgence of like
actually cool like superhero movies.
not even superhero movies, just like new like original fresh voices or films, you know, out there that are at least a bit more popular.
I mean, like in terms of like the westerns went to like spaghetti westerns, and like after that it kind of died. I mean, like we still get like westerns now, but they're not like actual westerns. Like they're always like parodies or something, you know.
Or and there's a difference too between I feel like the Western genre and then a movie that takes place in the West, you know.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Because that was my thing about it too, is that like on paper and like when I think about the West, it's a very interesting time, like a place, you know, that is it really was the last frontier, right? And you really could it was free, but it was dangerous and all that shit, right? But then Westerns felt very binary in terms of just telling the same story, just like a different in a different hat.
Yeah, there's not too much you can do. I mean, there's technically a lot of stories to be told in the West, but they always took the same angle for
exactly.
you know.
And that's how I feel about superhero films now, where it's like there's plenty of things you can do with adapting a superhero or a comic book or a graphic novel that's in Ghost World, you know. It's just people talking, but they're all just taking the same angle, which is just the same sort of superhero, like the save the world, and then even if they try to make a message or whatever, it's just like I was always really confused when Black Panther became as popular and stuff as it did, because like I thought it brought up some interesting ideas and like maybe like a sort of like representation of like Wakanda's supposed to be like the United States or whatever, but it feels like it got still caught in like the Marvel corporate filter. It couldn't really be a movie.
That's what most, like every Marvel movie that comes out now is just like, it's not really a movie. It's like just a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's its own thing. And I saw some interview with Tom because they asked him about the Scorsese thing. So what do you think about Scorsese and all this shit? And he said that, you know, he's done Marvel movies and he's done movies outside of regular movies, and at least work-wise, production-wise, it's treated the same exact way. It's just product-wise, I guess it's but then so it's just interesting. It is a product. But yeah, I don't know. For me, superhero movies, I guess to catch you up, Elijah.
Yeah.
We're trying to. We started out by, you know, we asked if we could put like an expiration date when the superhero genre is gonna, you know,
cease.
Just comparing it to like other genres,
Yeah.
like Western slashers. I think it's a little bit different with superhero movies now because like Marvel is so huge. I don't think like Westerns or slashers really had the same treatment where there was like such a massive corporation. I mean, like it's not just Marvel, it's like Disney.
yeah.
It's like Disney's so fucking massive. Like you
It's
can
like
tell.
always mainstream.
Yeah, it's like always gonna be like superhero movies have been around for a while, but not like this. Like this is just like it's so like there's so much shit that they're putting out.
Eventually, just something new will catch on.
And I feel like even in a sense, it's like you know how Marvel, like they're on the hunt for new and young directors all the time, independent directors. Most of the directors that do the new movies have only made like 1 or 2 movies, and they're very, very, very low budget, right? And so it's like in a sense they want like a Chloe Zhao, a different type of voice to just make a Marvel movie, you know, because in a sense it makes someone who doesn't like Marvel movies go watch a Marvel movie, right? Just to see what Chloe Zhao is making a Marvel movie. Just an example, but you know, Ryan Coogler, James Gunn, also even the guy who I watched Shang-Chi over the winter too, and the guy Destin Daniel Cretton, he did this movie called Short Term 12. Good movie, but just an independent film. And so I don't know, but then also too that like large portions of these movies now kind of do cater to not even a U.S. audience, and it's like
China.
Yeah, it's mostly China.
Oh boy, I think that's where the problem is.
You remember? Have you guys in the 4th Transformers movie? There's like 45 minutes that take place in China just to be in China.
Wow.
It's like it's very strange, but I don't know. I guess if that's I don't know.
The problem with the problem with China and like adhering to China is like how much censorship they put out and like how much control they have. So it's like studios in the US are already pretty like they don't want to take any risks, and like to even have like China, like to adhere to like China's market and stuff like that and get their support is gonna be like, studio times like 5. It's gonna be.
Yeah, because now it's beyond even an economic gain. It's like socio-political.
Yeah, exactly. It's just gonna be. It's not gonna be anything that's of substance. It's gonna be like this controlled, like almost like, I don't want to say propaganda, but it's like
it just feels like a symbol of a symbol. It's like a copy of a copy.
Yeah,
it's
like,
not even a thing anymore.
It's so watered. I mean, like in all Marvel movies,
Yeah,
like they
it's
feel this.
watered
They feel the same. Like Marvel movies are just like dialogue's very similar, banter's very similar. Even like shooting style feels
all
similar.
the heroes are basically variations of Witty.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Just like all the different like personality types. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's absurd. I'm hoping that this Spider-Man movie is like the last like big, like just like the peak of Marvel. And that's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, it feels it in a sense. It does feel like a cry for help. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck it, we just gotta cash in
Yeah,
while we can.
There's
fanfic.
like a big thing too about like there being an Oscar push for the film.
Really?
For the Spider-Man movie?
I saw it on Instagram. They have
Oscar
like,
for what?
like
Best picture,
Best
a
picture.
lot of them. Like
best
there's
actor.
like, have you seen like those for your consideration posters?
Oh,
They
no.
have one
No.
for Spider-Man out.
Good fucking
And-
god. No, I just think that's so dumb. I mean,
because in a sense, it's interesting about it though is that like in like back, I would say even like 20 years ago, like whatever was the most popular movie was like win the most accolades.
Mhm.
Like Braveheart came out and like when all that Forrest Gump came out, 94 was an interesting year, but like
That's a good
when
year.
when the Return of the King came out, the last Lord of the Rings movie, it did a clean sweep of all of them. It was just the
Wow.
highest grossing movie at the time.
mhm.
When The Matrix came out, it won all the technical awards, but usually the highest grossing movie, or The Matrix
It
was the highest
helps.
grossing R-rated movie before Deadpool, but there was a time when the most popular movie did coincide with the most critically acclaimed movie. Where now the critically acclaimed movies and the most popular movies are actually separate. Like you can't
Mhm.
even talk about them in the same conversation.
Mhm.
What was one of the best movies from 2021 in your
I wanted to
opinion?
ask you guys that today. Like your top 5 of 2021. Licorice Pizza,
Licorice Pizza,
Titan,
I haven't seen too many from
Me
2021.
neither.
this Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
No, that was like.
I'm
that
just
was
kidding.
20. I was like,
Oh,
I was like, what the fuck? This dude, 2 years off. I'd say Teton.
I was gonna say, but
Titan.
like something like Titan, that's never gonna get nominated for
Fuck
an
no.
Oscar.
I mean, like, I don't care if it wins an Oscar.
Let's
That's not
see.
the point of it. But
Yeah.
like
Dune.
What else came out? Oh, yeah, Dune. Oh yeah, I forgot about Dune.
Dune's
Pig,
gonna do well.
The Green Knight.
Green Knight. Nah.
Lamb.
Lamb. Did you see
Pig.
Lamb?
I didn't see.
I saw
Is
Lamb.
good.
Was it good? You said it was strange, right?
It's just that one. It's I guess at least obviously movies want you want to leave wanting more, but it wasn't even like a satisfying appetizer, if that makes sense. Like it's like you sit with this movie long enough where you think it. I still can't even really derive a point from it besides it, like, because like if it's supposed to be an examination, it feels like and the thing about it, what also kind of made me sad is that like it's it's an A24
Mhm.
movie. A24 horror has its own thing,
Mhm.
and it felt like an algorithm like thing of like AI, like what are the keywords of A24
Mhm.
an A24 movie, and but in a sense it was well crafted, but like I was left wanting way too much more. But yeah, I would say I only have like three
There's Last
movies
Night
I
in
really
Soho.
like. Yeah,
I didn't like it that much.
Dude, fucking
though.
Elwood.
He hates
He
it.
shit on
Elwood. We were eating.
really
we
doesn't
were
like
at
it.
Denny's with Elwood, and he spent like 10 minutes just shitting on it. It was so funny. I was like, "Damn, Edgar Wright, come on."
It was okay.
Yeah.
It
was
wasn't my
okay.
favorite Edgar Wright movie, but I think I appreciated it more than Elwood did.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides Licorice Pizza, Dune, I like The Last Duel.
We saw the
Tea
Green
Time.
Knight.
The Green Knight,
Knight
it's like
was-
50-50. I gotta watch it again. I feel like,
It has a cool payoff.
yeah, I feel like the more I thought about that movie, and it definitely was well crafted and I feel like David Lowery did what he achieved what he intended, but I just like I don't know if I got it, and I feel like I need to
The-
rewatch it,
the-
but I'm not running back to rewatch it.
I really like the montage, like the way obviously like the second half I like a lot more, and some parts in the beginning, but like the whole like journey part to me felt like very first draft almost,
Very
like,
long.
very long. It just felt like
Yeah.
it wasn't concise enough, and even the stuff they were showing wasn't like that interesting. You know, it just was. I guess maybe I don't know if he wanted it to feel that way or whatever, but
It was a bit meandering.
he's meandering. Maybe he wanted to be meandering. Like that's the character is supposed to be like meandering, but I feel like there could have been a better way to like.
It's
show that.
It's kind of weird because like the way the story's set up, it's supposed to kind of make him look back on his life and how like he didn't, or like he's not living it in his best possible way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I feel it's like kind of hard to like portray a character like that in an interesting manner, because they're kind of like not a boring person, but like
In this,
lacking like what their potential is, kind of.
sorry, I got the hiccups.
Oh, you're all good. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like
It's the perfect protagonist though, in a sense where like they fill all the boxes, but it's just not interesting.
Yeah, you kind of really have to get into like what like their head is like, and it has like I said, it had a good payoff.
Hey, what time do you want to leave
time
by?
is it?
It's like 1:30.
I should probably leave soon.
Like how much more? Like 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
140.
140. Okay.
Yeah.
In chat.
Should we talk about you rewatch Upstream Color?
I watched Upstream Color today. It's
I
it's weird.
second time or
I would consider it the first time.
I actually watching the movie. I actually really like it. I really like
Upstream
Upstream Color.
Color?
yeah, I appreciated it. I feel like it's like to me I put it in the same vein as like true passion projects like the same way I kind of view Vincent Gallo's films. Like you appreciate that they did what they wanted to do. But yeah, I thought that it was actually like really impressive.
So
Yeah.
okay, is it like they take this worm and it basically allows them
They take this.
There's
one.
like a scene right at the beginning that's like hella goofy.
Which one?
Like where
The drug dealing scene?
not even that one where he like just like
yeah.
no, there's one where it's like the kids just give each other a high five.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It felt like the movie got better as they were making it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the beginning of the movie feels almost like an Adobe like tutorial video.
Yeah, it
Dude,
does.
yeah.
With the
What the
music
fuck?
and how like the image is like hella
Yeah.
flat.
And like how the image is like hella flat.
Then as the movie goes on though, there's like
It
the
gets
shots
better,
get
yeah.
like
Even
I remember
just how it's the way it's lit in the beginning. It's just like
you guys said
Flat,
something
flat, yeah.
like the gaffers made the
Yeah, this is a movie made by gaffers. Yeah, I remember. This movie made by lighting technicians and shit.
But it's like, okay, so there's this worm, and the worm's almost like a drug that like you get like linked with something, and she basically becomes linked with the pig.
Yeah, so
She
it's like
can-
from what I got from it, it's like they take the worm, but it seems like the people who engineered the worm, it's like you get linked with them, but because they're like alpha and like the hierarchy, they kind of get to control you. That makes sense.
I know he like hypnotizes.
He like
her.
hypnotizes her. I think like I don't know how it works. Like the montage at the beginning where it shows him like taking the worm, it's like they can like do all this, like they can high five and do like the dance moves and shit.
It's like they're like it's a
They're linked
telepathic.
together, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know how like the hierarchy of like how the hierarchy works, like when who takes what or like whatever.
I feel it's like she takes the worm, and like he gave it to her, so like she imprints on him.
Yeah.
But then like she gets the worm taken out of her and put into the pig. So they had the same worm, so they're gonna be like they're gonna feel like the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like how do I describe it? It's almost like fucking like E.T. You know when they take fucking like E.T. away from the little boy and the little boy gets sick too.
It's like a sixth
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But it's like contagious.
Mhm.
It's like an empath. Like they
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
feel that.
It's like an STD, but like for your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's those scenes though where there's like the color shit.
That was cool.
Fucking cool. And I heard the movie was made only on like $50,000.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I heard it like a YouTube video, but like,
What
if
do you
that's
think?
true-
There's that one montage. It's almost like a bit of fun and games where it's like shows their relationship growing, but it's like showing their relationship growing and almost like how they're like linked, and they're like finishing each other's sentences and like having each other's memories and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like that part. And like they show a lot of like reoccurring like images and like shots and stuff. I really fucking like that part.
Is it like now he doesn't have like any type of like connection to her like telepathically,
Not
does he?
directly, but it's like he was connected to that. I assume the same people because it seems like he went through something similar. Like his job got fucked up. His memories also fucked.
Yeah, because he had like the stealing money thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, you're right.
and they have a lot of like similar behavior and stuff. And obviously they're confused what their fucking memories are. Like they're like, I told
They
you
have
this
like
memory.
the
Like, no, that's my
symptoms
memory.
of the drug.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like because they're so affected by the drug, like the PTSD behind it. It's almost like they're not self-aware of like what they're experiencing. Like they're arguing over like whose memory it was. Where it's like if you were arguing with somebody over whose memory it was, you wouldn't be arguing over like whose memory it was. You'd be like, how the fuck do we have the same memory? Like how is this happening right now?
Yeah.
But they're not. It's like it's just. I thought that part was so interesting.
It presents it like it's beyond the novelty of this happening. It's like now they're just trying to fight to survive, to be sane.
Yeah.
Like to understand. It feels like it's like it's like some like sort of like metaphor for like existing in a world but coinciding with somebody where it feels like I watched a few different things that make me think of this, but it seems like a lot of things are like beyond like maybe ideas or things or actions we can do to change the world. It seems like how we can change our world is like through some sort of way of like, I don't even know if the movie's necessarily a love story. But,
It's a lot of things.
but like in a sense, like when you through love or like a relationship, and not even a romantic one, but some way of sharing something with somebody else in whatever capacity, in a sense, kind of changes the way you view things because you are now removed from just like viewing things from yourself, because in a sense you think of it from another head, two pairs of eyes. But then how do you explain that? I think about the part in the movie too when it's like the relationship where he's like always like down on himself and the wife's trying to help him, and then he just always puts her down too.
Yeah.
Trying to put him up.
Oh, I remember when we were talking about the movie last time in the last podcast, we were kind of connecting it to like the recession and like 9/11, like post 9/11, post like recession adults of that time, and like recuperating from those events. And I remember thinking you could kind of feel that energy here as well.
It's like a frantic scrambling to figure out what's real, because like you've been lied to in a sense, right? You grew up in a world that you grew up getting prepared for a world that does not exist. Like the world changed, and no one was ready for that change. You know, we didn't know that COVID was going to happen,
No.
and now we have to adapt to. We went to high school and we thought all these things about how the world was going to be in our 20s and all that, and now look, we're in our 20s living in this weird COVID thing, and that's how it kind of feels in this movie.
Now, does everyone feel like that?
But then
I think so.
See, that's what
so.
I just realized. It like no, this happens all the time. Every generation is like that,
Ours just happens to be
COVID's a big one though. Like that's bigger than
We kind of
9/11.
got
Yeah.
fucked with
No,
that.
we got
because
super fucked.
it affected every generation. Before it really was just the one generation that was affected. But like you got to like, all right, there's the recession, there's 9/11, there is like the 80s, like sort of like consumerism met by the 90s rebellion, but then there was like the 70s sort of like crime and I don't even know how to really categorize it. Sort of rebellion there into like the sort of like preppy stuff, yuppie culture of the 80s. Then you have like the peace and love era is of the 60s is met by the crime era of the 70s, and then the uptight 50s or everything is like, square
Post-war
squareness is met by it. So it happens every time. But then the movie just feels like a representation of like that sort of scrambling. Does what's his name, the director?
Shane Carew.
Shane Carew. Does,
Shane
does he do
Carew.
any interviews or anything? I'd like to. have you
I
seen
should
it?
check that out. I should check.
I'm
I know.
I'm sure he does.
I got on one of the Primer DVDs. He has
I don't know if
a
he has any
commentary.
podcasts.
Very thought provoking,
Yeah.
and it's like a tone poem.
Yeah,
nothing,
it
nothing
is.
really gets explained like too solidly.
That's another thing. I don't know if I liked it, like the way it's edited. We were talking about like how I remember saying it reminds me of like the whole movie feels like a montage. The way it's edited,
It's very quick.
very quick,
Yeah.
very just like it's like there's shots that are long and then quick, and then it's just like it's like so quick. It's just like it just
You
know,
didn't
just-
have any time to like sit with it.
Yeah, I remember saying that. Fucking, it just feels like a movie that just like doesn't sit down. You know, just like it just keeps running and like walking away. Just like you just have to like run with it. You know, it's like the movie does not sit. There's only like one scene that really sits down, and then like it just doesn't sit down. It's interesting though. Like I never seen a movie that like felt like that.
It's kind of like its own genre or
Yeah.
like its own style in
Yeah.
that way. I don't know if I like that either.
It's I guess it fits with like the way the characters might be feeling.
Primer's
Yeah.
kind of like that. I feel though. Primer's kind of quick.
I haven't seen Prime.
I haven't seen Primer
Okay.
either.
Okay. It's like quick, but like there's a lot more like dialogue.
Yeah.
But like the dialogue doesn't like they're using like jargon and shit. They're
Oh,
talking
so
the way
it's
like
it's like some alien shit.
it's like
you know?
some physics stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like you kind of just follow along with it.
Yeah.
This is kind of the same way. Like all the dialogue is like really, or the dialogue is different, but it's like they're really only saying like really
It seems like
no exposition
yeah.
really.
It's like every line's like a tone poem line.
Yeah,
Very, very like ethereal, esoteric.
yeah. That I thought about that though. Like that would be kind of crazy. Like you have a weekend where you don't know what happened, and then all your money's gone.
And
But they
and
said,
your job's like.
but they said you were the one who did it. Like
Yes, that would suck.
I almost thought of like when I saw that part, I thought of it like this is a movie to explain something like that happening.
You know who the main dude reminded me of? A few people, but also Lance.
Oh
Just reminded me of Lance a little bit.
They
Yeah.
kind of look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's the director.
that was a director.
He
Yeah,
he
that's-
wrote,
that's shit.
That's Shane
directed,
Carew.
produced it,
Damn.
edited it,
He's like
did the
Lance.
music for it.
Wow.
It's Vincent Gallo.
Yeah, literally. Lance Vincent Gallo. All right, it's 140.
Okay.
143.
I apologize.
I mean, we're all
but
good.
That-
It's been a fun.
How long
Yeah,
has
that's
the
fun.
episode been?
330.
Wow.
331.
That flew by.
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
We'll have another catch.
yeah. We'll do one where maybe we start off talking about
Yeah.
that, and then do the recently watched.
You know, it's like a licorice pizza or something. We had to get this out of our system
Mhm.
so that the next episode could be even better.
Yeah.
And it's all the better for it. Pizza.
Licorice pizza.
All right, let's see. Brandon said a few things. He said, "Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life hits hard as fuck in the feels, man. Spider-Man 2 is the motherfucking bomb. 3 cheers for Sam Raimi. Yeah, 3 cheers. Clerks was peak comedy. Fuck yeah. I actually rewatched Clerks as well. I forgot about that. When I heard of it, I immediately watched and shit was busting. Yeah, Clerks is tight." He said, "Hey, it's been great. Y'all have movie passion like my bro. So hell yeah, I hope y'all grow. Thanks, dog. Stick around, man."
We need to get Brandon on the podcast sometime.
He's cool.
Yeah,
And he stuck around. He
Brandon.
stuck around to the end. So yeah,
Yeah.
he must be cool.
Shout out
Brandon.
to Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon. Yeah, thanks for
Brandon's
sticking around, man.
a
Appreciate you.
homie.
All right. Any final words before we cut the transmission?
Need to see Licorice Pizza again. I
I need to see.
Yeah,
I just need.
want
I
to.
need to see it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I need to see a bunch. There's a bunch. I just need to go to the theater.
Yeah.
Been so busy. I finally got the Charlie the Clown episode out.
That had to feel good.
Yeah, that felt great. That felt great. And it's always editing and stuff. But yeah, that's a good episode.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Good seeing you again.
Good
too.
seeing you guys too.
Happy
yeah.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Excited to get back on the train. I don't know.
We're
Making
getting on it
shorts.
this week.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Okay.
Peace out, film fans.
Peace
have
out.
a good evening.
Take it easy.
See you later, Brandon.
Stay safe, guys.
We need to catch up sometime.
This is bad country.